Good evening, civilians. The Night Watch has arrived to keep vigil and protect you from what lurks in the dark. Welcome to Session 1 of our Hunter the Vigil 2E story, Cold Cases, Forsaken Spaces. Join us as the cell comes together with some unlikely allies to solve old mysteries and try to stay alive for just a few more nights. I am Tyler, Eldritch Echoes Online, and I will be your storyteller for this terrifying tale. We are Vorpal Tales. We have a variety of both terrifying tales and awesome adventures to play here and on our channel almost every day of the week. Our cast full of hunters and one lost changeling are here. Minus one, so I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Tell us who you are, how people can find you online, who you're playing tonight, starting with Sean.
Hi, I'm at Spacelord PJs on the internet. You can find me at Spacelord PJs or at Cartoon.Ninja. I am playing Macintosh McGuire, a rugged aging hunter looking to retire.
Ever.
Hi there. You can finally. It's new game jitters. I'm excited and I'm terrified, and my tongue decides that it doesn't know what it wants to do, and that's okay. But yeah. So I am Ever. Pronouns are they, them, and I will be playing the lost and then found and then helpful-ish changeling, Reese. And you can find me on the interwebs as at Changeling Ever.
Evan.
You can find me online at Sorta Sullied. I'm Devin, and I will be playing your psychic Psyduck, but real name Kyle.
Daddy.
Yes, it's really called Psyduck.
My name is Patty Shakes, Patrick, my actual name, but you can find me everywhere on the internet as Patty Shakes. I will be playing Dem Voodoo Spiritualist Baptiste Fontaine.
Practiced that all week, didn't you?
I did, actually. I've been just watching the YouTube videos and recalling. My wife's family is all like diehard Cajun. They're straight out of Louisiana, so I've been practicing.
Nice. Also, Voodoo Arcade, our friend Steve, who will be joining us at a later date, will be here, as you can see from the covered camera. We'll still talk about his character, though. Minus its name, because I don't know what that is. Okay. Now that you know who we are, shameless plug time. Please remember to follow the Onyx Path on Twitch. Go to Vorpal Tales on Twitch. Follow us. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Leave comments. When we aren't here on this channel, upholding the vigil, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch by looking up Vorpal Tales, all one word, and on our website, vorpaltales.com. Join our Discord, links on the website. Hang out, talk about horror and high adventure. Special thank you tonight to Onyx Path Publishing for always being awesome to people who play their games. To Astral Tabletop for providing the virtual tabletop we use to roll bones and play our soundtracks. Last but not least, at N8MIDD, my brother, for an endless list of custom Astral Tabletop character sheets, including tonight's. Now, with all of that out of the way, talk about hunting monsters. So, two of you have played this setting before, but you've never touched Chronicles of Darkness, correct, Patty?
That is correct.
Okay. So, unlike normal, much to Sean's relief, we're not going to do a world dump, a rules dump. Because two of you have played this setting before, but not in 2 years, 3 years? It's been a long time.
3 years.
Yeah. And two of you have never touched it, and the audience at home, who knows how many of them have messed with this before. So, first, we'll talk about the game. Under the Vigil, 2nd edition, is a role-playing game about people who are committed to saving a world overrun by monsters. Once they light a candle and hold it up to the darkness, they cannot turn back. They've taken their first step to upholding the vigil despite knowing the ultimate cost. After they peer into the shadows, they become so obsessed with the monsters lurking there, every hunt pushes them further and further away from a normal life. Hunters are underdogs who never stop feeling that chill running up and down their spines. For every bloodsucker they put down, for every haunted house they clear out, another horror lies waiting to strike. Sure, they might make sacrifices or suffer losses along the way, but to them, there's never a time when they're not hunted. Either they stay sharp and focused, they become the hunted, or worse, they become the monster. Most people grow up believing monsters exist in fairy tales and on TV. Thin Man, the product of conspiracy theorists on message boards. Bloody Mary, it's just an urban legend cooked up by teenage girls, and the Chupacabra is a rabid dog. You're not most people, because you know monsters are real. You've seen one. Maybe it murdered your grandfather. Maybe it targeted your dog. Whatever the reason, however you encountered one, the truth shattered you. Instead of running away or hiding in a bunker, you've decided to do something. Chosen to heed the call of the Vigil and become a hunter. How? By finding similarly minded people who can fight alongside you. You know you're outmatched. You know you're outgunned, but you don't care because sometimes you'll lose. But as long as you're breathing, you'll never stop fighting. And once you go down. Or at least, that's what the Vigil implores. Hunters see the shadows move in dark corners and recognize them for the monsters they are. Others force themselves to forget, choosing to bury their heads in the sand for a chance at sanity and comfort. Hunters can't look away, because when they do, someone dies. They are driven to confront the monsters because they lurk in their own backyards. Then, when their homes are safe, hunters realize the terrible truth. Someone must stand up to the darkness, and that someone is them. To be a hunter is to linger in the dark. The character doesn't know all there is to know about the supernatural. Even if the player does. Hunters know the unnatural things go bump at night aren't regulated to nightmares. Hunter cells understand they're real and those things can be hunted, provided they figure out how to track, capture. The strange and unknowable are mysteries for the cell to figure out. A hunter encountering one flesh-eating humanoid might assume they know exactly what's feeding on people, until another flesh-eater comes along with a new profile. When combined with mysterious and forsaken places, haunted houses, monsters' lairs, roadside shrines with statues that bleed, hunters have their hands full when piecing together what's happening in that area before they can move on to. An individual hunter is a single candle in the dark until they join forces with other hunters. Then they can really make a difference. Hunters gather together in groups called cells, compacts, and conspiracies, because with greater numbers comes greater effect. For a hunter, the cell is the lifeblood of successful work, the only real protection against darkness. Will you pledge to uphold the code? Will you light a candle and stand against the gathering dark? If you do, don't worry, the flame you hold is not the only fire that burns. You'll have help from your fellow cellmates, and together you may burn bright enough to hold the line. Keep the darkness from swallowing the world whole. That would be 3 of you. 3 characters are actually playing hunters in this game. Sean, Patty, and Devin. We have 2 other people also playing who are not playing traditional hunters. Fill said story out. We'll touch on them briefly also. First, our almost ever present but never present tonight friend Steve. Steve will be playing Half Damned. In this game, specifically, Vampire the Requiem is a game about personal horror and the choices one makes which lead to that horror. Sometimes the story is about the vampire, but all too often the story is about those the vampire leaves in their wake. Sometimes it's the people she takes vitae from just to survive another night, and sometimes it's the people she bends to her will, making them her servants. Other times it's just those who end up on the wrong end of her selfish nature. Touches people's lives, using them, making them fall in love with her, riling up their passions and leaving them in the dust. What remains are the after effects of her presence. The ghoul whose day-to-day life she never considers. The woman she killed while feeding who came back as a revenant. And in this case, the young boy she gave birth to in an unholy ritual as a pinnacle of her expression of damned love. These are the half-damned, the people created by a vampire, either by design or accident, who now navigate the edges. of the night. Not human, but not fully vampire. Some of them find solace in others. Some of them seek retribution for their lot in life. Their relationships with vampires are complicated, messy, and ripe for excruciatingly beautiful roleplay. Being a half-damned is about rebellion and being an outsider everywhere you go. About reconciling what you are and where you came from with your own integrity and the realities of living in the night. As a human, neither slave nor food. Finally, it's all about omens. You lead a charmed life, but you pass all the misfortune that spares you on to everyone who strays in your way. It's hard to tell where your will ends and where coincidence begins. You'll never know, and it haunts you. On the other hand, when everything's coming up you all the time, hard to complain too much. So, Steve's character is going to be a half vampire who hunts vampires. For what reason? It'll be up to the cell to figure out if they can drive that from him. They're going to need him, and he's going to need them. As a mortal, he's not quite all vampire, but as a half vampire, he still has some issues. Like the bloodlust. Even though he can't actually process and consume regular human blood, he still lusts after it. He can, however, process and consume vampire blood and will lust after that. He also gets several of the curses of vampire, not any of the bonuses, like vampires being able to track him by his blood and not being able to use a weapon against them like they can. However, he also gets some powers in his blood that are nothing like his parents. And last but not least, half vampires are all insomniacs. Their vampire blood calls to them to be awake at night, and their human blood calls to them to be awake in the day. And next, we have Ever, who will be playing the poor, not quite dupe, but maybe dupe. That is the linchpin that pulls this party together. Ever will be playing a changeling from Changeling the Lost 2nd Edition, a role-playing game about beautiful madness. There was always something you were missing, something everybody got that you didn't. Some metaphorical party to which everyone was invited but you. Someone offered you a glimpse of it, of that thing that would make you whole, so you followed them. But you were deceived. The wider world you had just a glimpse of was only a sliver of a vast landscape of madness and horror. For a while you kept going, yeah, but eventually you had to get out. So you did. You braved pain and isolation, and you changed your life again. You ran back over the line, rushing toward the place you came from, the memory of all that was good in it lighting your way. And now you're back. Turns out your life kept going without you. You kept going without you. In your absence, the familiar became strange, and you're out of place again. But you won't take it this time. You'll make your place, and you will defend it when your deceiver comes knocking. And if something is still missing, and there always seems to be something still missing, you will find it, and you will make it a part of you. There will be dragons, and there will be sirens, and there will be all the armies of the other world sent to drag you back. You will slay them, and you will shun them, and you will stand on the battlements of your fortress. They break against your walls of throne and iron. You will be free. And none of that was a metaphor. You know the stories. The hero leaves his village on a terrifying journey, or the way finds her way through the cold, dark woods. In the end, they kill the giant or shove the witch in an oven, but what happens next? That's what the game is about. You take on the role of an ordinary person who's seen the extraordinary, lured or abducted by the alien gentry who have passed the gates and hedges between our world and another. In Arcadia, the gentry changed you. They forged your flesh and sewed your bones, and they gave you a role to play. You were a lover or a servant or a monster, but it was never your story, never your choice. Having run from your keeper, climbed your way back through the hedge, you're back in the world of pizza and Facebook and nuclear anxiety. Your eyes are open now. You can see that magic is not the sole province of fairy. The world is alive with wonders most people never see, and rife with horrors that count on that unwariness. It's all part of your life now. Take the good with the bad, the magic with the monstrous, the beauty with the madness. Not always an easy story. It's almost never a happy story. But this time it's your story. Okay. That was the fluff. Now let's talk about mechanics. Let's talk about how exciting rules are, right? It's the best.
Woohoo!
Tell me the limits on my make believe.
Okay. So, first thing we're going to talk about is Hunter the Vigil typically start you out as a brand new hunter who just barely seen the darkness survive some kind of monstrous attack, maybe killed it. These characters, since this game is going to run to Halloween, are going to start a little more advanced. So, we gave them 30 points to spend of experiences, them the rank of been at it a while. Keep that in mind when you're thinking about your character. You might still be new to this, quote-unquote, but you're not really. Okay.
My
First,
dad taught me everything I know.
the darkness ate him.
It said he was delicious.
Probably did, yeah. I was checking your real quick over here. Actually, okay. Character advancement. Unlike our other games, this game uses a different system for gaining experience. You have to earn beats to level up. You advance by earning these beats in a variety of ways. You will see on your character sheets there's a spot. Every 5 beats is 1 experience. Experience is what you spend to buy things to learn. A beat is a measurable moment of drama that reflects how your character has grown in some way or gets terribly screwed in some way. Often
I
the
thought
beat
they
is
are purple
earned.
vegetables.
Often the beat is earned after a character fulfills aspirations. This game does still use aspirations. You should always have 1 long-term and 2 short-term at all times. You'll get to your starting ones in a while. Like I said, when you earn 5 beats, they're converted to 1 experience. You can spend experiences to acquire or increase traits. Earning beats. You gain beats when any one of the following occurs. Pay attention. I won't remind you, and it'll be your job to push yourself to get more. Every time you fulfill an aspiration, take a beat. At the end of a session, take a beat. Once per scene, when resolving a condition, any kind, take a beat. Some conditions provide beats for actions other than resolving them, in which case, take the beat every time the condition says you can, no more than once per scene. If you're not sure if a scene changed, you can always just ask and I'll tell you, but it'll usually be pretty obvious. Anytime you fail a roll, you can choose to make it a dramatic failure and take a beat. This does not apply to rolls when you're risking willpower, which we'll get to later. If your character surrenders during a fight, take a beat. If you succeed in a roll that risks willpower when you're not using Hunter Cell tactics, take a beat. If your character takes damage in one of her 3 far right health boxes, take a beat for each box. The closer you get to death, the more experience you get. Anytime you risk a breaking point, whether you actually failed a breaking point roll or not, take a beat. Also, anytime I decide to give you one because something cool happened. You can only receive 1 beat from any of those criteria per scene, but you could receive 1 each in the same scene. Questions?
Can you make a cheat sheet for us later?
That.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Group beats. Hunters do not work alone. The cell functions almost as a single body. It means that when the members of a cell work together in a meaningful way, they learn and grow together and from one another. It reflects not only their growing experience with the Vigil, but the growing loyalty to each other. For those of you who are not hunters, you can still join in on group beats. The cell's high-risk, high-reward lifestyle, delving into dark mysteries and confronting terrifying foes, teaches them lessons ordinary people never know. This is how you get group beats. Unlike how you normally earn beats, this is shared, which means when I say a group beat is rewarded, you all get 1 beat. You can get these beats whenever you fulfill the following criteria. but only when you're confronting the supernatural directly in some way. It doesn't have to be a fight. You have to directly be confronting the supernatural. You can't get group beats at McDonald's unless there's a monster in the McDonald's and you're talking to it. So, like, investigating a monster by following it back to its lair is a confrontation. Researching it at a library or examining a crime scene is not. Likewise, chatting with a vampire ally who isn't currently endangering any of you does not count. An intense negotiation or exchange of threats with the same vampire does. Get it? Questions? Okay. Whenever 2 or more members of the group experience a breaking point during any scene, instead of your normal individual beat, everyone gets a beat. Whenever the cell successfully performs a tactic, everybody gets a beat. More on tactics later. Whenever more than one member of the cell fulfills or makes significant headway toward an aspiration directly related to the Vigil, monster hunting, everyone gets a beat. Whenever the cell destroys a monster or otherwise renders it permanently harmless to humanity, everyone gets a beat. Experiences. Every time you get 5 beats, you get 1 experience. You can spend experiences anytime you want. You don't have to wait for me to allow it. You just have to tell me what it is so I can accrue it. So, list, spinning, but attributes, 4 experience for a dot. Doesn't matter what rank. Skills, 2 experience for a dot. Doesn't matter what rank. New skill specialty, 1 for 1. New merit, 1 experience per dot the merit requires, making your character. Increasing your integrity or buying it back up after you have breaking points, 2 experiences for a dot. New endowments, hunter superpowers, 3 experiences for a dot. Lost willpower dots, not boxes, not temporary willpower, but you risked your willpower and burned it. 1 experience for 1 dot. And a special one in the case of Hunter. Anytime you want to, even during the session, you can spend a beat to replenish a point of willpower. That's an experience, but it falls under spending. So, like, if you earn a beat for a condition and you burned a lot of willpower, you don't have to wait to fulfill your virtue or vice, your needle, your thread, whatever. You can just use your beats and recover temporary willpower. Questions on that? So the way that works is you can tell me you're spending the beat to do it, and then I'll have you roll resolve plus composure with no modifiers, and you regain willpower equal to the successes rolled, up to your maximum, and even if the roll fails because you spent a beat, you still get 1. Alright, for the hunters, this is not for you, ever. Day jobs, because you all are mortals. You all have to have an actual job. Even at Tier 3 Conspiracies, which you are, they don't necessarily pay you a living. Especially not the ones you guys picked. So, choices are academic, business professional, criminal, detective, doctor, freelancer, journalist, mechanic of any kind, occultist, religious leader, scientist, or laborer. Pick your poison, put it in your sheet. There should be a spot for it at the top. So, for instance, for you, Sean, you probably want to keep that between, like, mechanic, freelancer, or laborer. It's your conspiracy.
What's a freelancer do?
Basically, whatever job it is you do, you get work by contract. Maybe through the government, maybe from your friends, maybe a Craigslist. Plumber, construction worker, it could be engineer. Probably doesn't apply to a guy who's part of a union, but it could. We could make it work.
Yeah, he'll probably just be a laborer, I guess.
Okay, now that's a blanket word, and these are all blanket words that include a lot of things. So like a labor in your case, pick a skill valued in construction or engineering or architecture, and that probably very much fits you. All right, Patty. Cultist?
Tempting, but I was thinking more
Criminal?
doctor. Doctor.
Doctor. Oh, right. You have lots
To
of
be
medicine.
that'd be more like half doctor, half criminal. I'm
Or
like
half doctor, half cultist. Since you're in town from out of town, your job still comes up in that if you get in trouble, it matters. It's how people find your reputation as long-term damage. Even if you're on vacation for the month you're doing this. However,
I'm renting out one of the closed businesses at an empty strip mall, and like I've got a poster board sign that just says Dr. Fontaine's. It doesn't even specify. It doesn't even specify what. It doesn't even specify what kind of medicine I do. It just says Dr. Fontaine's.
About back home in New Orleans, do you actually have like a clinic where you also sell holistic medicine?
Oh,
do tarot readings?
Back home to Bayou. I got your remedies. Don't you worry now.
Remedies?
What he said.
But yeah, so I did put doctor in quotation marks on mine.
Table of Horrors, thank you for the raid. You guys are awesome.
Woot woot.
Woohoo.
All right, Devin. What's your day job? What's your
Can I be like a cultist / game designer?
Sure.
Make weird ass games based off Pokemon.
Okay. So, how do you like? I'll allow it if you can explain it.
Well, I figured a cultist because being raised by the hunter that is no more. But my character really, really liked Pokemon, which got them into being a gamer-ish. And he worked with computers and such anyway, so he learned how to. It's like a freelance game designer.
So, are you saying like you consult on horror games to make them realistic?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Let's do that.
Except I randomly add Pokemon in it.
Wait, Devin, is your character a summoner?
No.
No. That would be Patty.
No, my character's a Psyduck.
Okay. Touchstones. Touchstone is an in-game term that describes someone a hunter feels safe around when they're not spending time elbow deep in monster guts and thwarting demonic sacrifice. Fellow hunters don't count. Trust your cellmates with your deepest secrets in your life every time you hunt, and you share the common bond of the Vigil. However, you need to have someone outside of that life. Your touchstones are your lifeline. They're deeply personal and keep you from falling into despair, becoming overwhelmed, or lashing out at someone who doesn't. Mechanically speaking, also, before I jump into that, I should mention, these aren't just things you get to write down and forget about. They will affect the story. If you don't spend time with them, they fade away and break down. They can cause conflict and drama in your life, because our people too, not just monster hunters. So, you all start with one, and you'll notice that on the character sheet, there's space next to each level of your morality, your integrity, right? Whenever you're risking integrity because you saw something terrible or did something terrible, if you have a touchstone next to the level of the integrity you're making the roll at, you get a bonus. You deal with the horrible because you have that touchstone. Catch is, if you lose integrity, the touchstone is at a dot you no longer have, you can no longer get use of it, and you have to do role-playing work to reacquire that connection. You all start with 1 for free, which goes next to rank 7 of your thing. Come on, tell us about yours, because you picked one ahead of time.
Yeah, so it started with a cat, because cats are awesome. And then Tyler's like, no, I can't. You can't do a cat, because that's lame, because
Actually,
you're
no.
lame.
What I told him was, I'll allow a pet, but I'll probably kidnap it.
He did. So I was like, fine.
And Sprout must not be kidnapped.
No, he would just fight his way out. So then I was like, well, this guy like is looking to retire, so he's looking to like find a place in the mountains to live. So there's this diner that he goes to every so often to sort of just like get away and recharge. And there's just like these people in the diner, like the person who runs it, the waitress and everything, that he just kind of hangs out with. And they're like real people, you know? So he that's where he goes to sort of find peace. So it's the diner and the cat. Definitely the cat. It's got a little cat carrier that he takes him in. It's like one of those ones with the backpack and the bubble, so the cat can like look out, and he just sits it down there next to him at the diner.
And when you're on assignment, they babysit for you.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Evan, you still need this particular touchstone. What are we doing for you? Can't do your dad, because he got murdered.
Oh yeah, no, I was figuring it'd be one of his relations, like his sister, who just knows he does something and he died some weird way, and I don't want to know because he didn't want to tell me, and I wasn't gonna ask.
That's another thing to bring up. Hunter cells and compact conspiracies argue viciously on how much the civilian should or should not know. It is absolutely up to you if your touchstones know the truth. They could even be people you've saved. So if you don't want them to know, we can do that. But if you want them to know, you don't have to go out of your way to make them not know.
In this instance, she knows. It's just I know. That's as far as I want to know. Because weird, freaky shit, not my cup of tea.
Okay, put that down on Resolve 7. Patty.
My touchstone would be Madonna Evangeline. I saved her from a bit of dark juju, and
Okay.
I keep her around because she has the face of one of the lowers I summoned. So I worry there might be something else there.
Okay. Now, as for you, touchstones aren't exactly the same for you. You don't need to have a touchstone like that they do. Yours is more built into your other stuff. However, you do still have a family. And we will tell everyone what that was about, and that's part of the story. Okay, so the mechanics are this. Whenever you need to make a breaking point roll, if the touchstone is next to your current level of morality, you get +2 dice to the roll, or +3 if in the future you use XP to buy more touchstones and play it up, you met them or added them, then you can have 2 or more touchstones on a line to get 3 extra. If you have no touchstones attached to the breaking point roll you're making, it's at -2 dice. Good times. Okay. Since we're looking at integrity, let's talk about integrity. This, of course, a stat and can break when terrible things happen. It breaks like all World and Chronicles of Darkness. Integrity is your alignment, but not really. You have integrity just like every other mortal, but the unnatural stresses to which you're constantly exposed affect you more deeply than anything most people ever see or do. Someone who hunts monsters has a choice: let it change you, or lose all ability to cope. Those who succumb too much to losing ability to cope can no longer function in society. Those who let it fundamentally change them too much become something else altogether. Might even become a monster. So, characters with an integrity of 7 to 10, your starting level, see yourselves in more or less the same way you always have. Vigil's a major part of your life now. You can see beyond it. to other things, your relationships, your future, whatever. You can draw a clear line between yourselves and the monsters. Middling integrity 4 to 6 have fully internalized the hunt, reacting more instinctively to perceived threats. They tend more to be more paranoid and are more prone to violence or Machiavellian behavior. They wonder whether their actions are justified while the code pushes them anyway, or they double down on their lifestyles. At this level of integrity, you will gain the vigilant condition. I will hand like a thing to you, explains how it works, beats and how it slows you down. Low integrity is really bad. We won't do that unless somebody actually drops to you. Very bad. Forever, it's vastly different. So, as you know, Ever, with a quick description for the audience, changelings have a sliding scale of how boringly normal are they, how wildly insane are they. It's always tipping back and forth. Constant battle between glamour and magic, and banality and normal life. Fall too far to one, lose your power. Fall too far to the other, go insane. Just become part of a fairy tale and fade away from the world. So that's your integrity, as it were, is maintaining your balance instead of a straight rating like everybody else. The code. Since we mentioned the code, when you take up the Vigil, you vow, whether out loud or just to yourself, to abide by certain precepts, one that separate you from common murderers and unnatural predators. It's how you justify your life of violence, crime, and paranoia. Strict rules, which if followed, keep you from coming down. For the greater good.
The greater good.
The code is not like written rules, because obviously there's different, like, you'll probably rarely meet other hunters, and you'll never know most of them in the world, so it's not like a PDF you pass around. Your cell will come up with the code, and I'll let you guys do that once you are a cell. Probably later tonight or next session. But you do need to have whatever your code is, because then we can make things happen with it. Because
Or
your integrity
pizza.
slide. Breaking points. Breaking points happen when... So, breaking points happen when the code or the Vigil makes you do or let things happen that are against normal human morality or extreme human morality. How far you get. Code's fundaments might be universal, but no two hunters are perfectly protected. You'll argue over what constitutes a monster or a person all the time. But it's not indicative of how you feel or what you want. It's ways in which your psyche is forced to adapt, consciously or subconsciously, to life, deliberately exposing yourself to bad things. From an out-of-character perspective, code breaking points consider any creature that wields dread powers or noumena, as long as you know it's a monster, as well as slashers, which are humans who have become so evil they're kind of a monster, like Michael Myers. If you either have to hurt someone innocent, defeat the monster, or if you let someone innocent be hurt to defeat the monster, that would be a breaking point. That's one example. Not helping someone survive or otherwise escape a monster that you are aware of and can do something about. Like, not because you're chained up, but like you were able to do something and you walk away. That's a breaking point. Refusing to destroy an obviously monstrous monster. That's a breaking point. Other breaking points are having to commit atrocities, even if it's when upholding the code. Breaking point. Sometimes, depending on how high your morality goes, other breaking points could even be stuff like using an innocent as bait to lure in a monster so that you can defeat it could be a breaking point at, say, Integrity 8 if you bought yours up. There are many other examples, but that's a good description of how it works. Do you have any questions about that?
Just be a hero.
Yeah. If you do suffer a breaking point, which will happen, you all will, You take a beat and roll Resolve plus Composure with a modifier based on lots of things. So, but you'll never exceed +5 or -5 to any roll anytime ever for any reason. So, like, if you do let a person get killed while you're defeating the monster, but you were doing a deliberate act of significant personal sacrifice, you would get like a +3 to the roll. Or if like you're acting in defense of another person's cell, you get like a +2 to a roll. You know, if you're like fulfilling your vice when you're letting that innocent get hurt, you get -1 to the roll. Stuff like that. Like Patty said, be a hero. Won't come up as often, but it will vastly increase the likelihood of you not making it to the end. It is fair to say, Sean, that your character, being the grizzled old hunter, has had several breaking points and recovered from. You don't survive as a hunter without compromise. Talking about monsters a lot, I should point out, what is a monster really? Typically, this is not a black and white game, especially the way we're going to play it. It can be if you want to play it that way, but everything is gray. Because Ever's a changeling doesn't mean Ever's a monster. Ever's not hurting anyone and not going out of her way to cause harm to mortals. She's fine. They are fine. Just because your neighbor is a human doesn't mean he's not a monster. Serial killer, he qualifies just as much as that fangbanger. So, when dealing with breaking points because of the code and whether or not you're killing a monster, we will discuss it, and if you can convince me I wouldn't think they're a monster, you can avoid your breaking points that way too. Get it?
Got it.
Okay. Having said all that, Integrity 7, list of things that will absolutely make you get a breaking point roll. First time personally encountering a new supernatural trait or power. Causing significant harm to a person. Allowing harm to come to a person while pursuing the vigil. Causing another person to suffer a breaking point from being exposed to the supernatural. Using to aid a fellow hunter in need. Every time, no questions, you won't get out of it. Well, I'll suppose those you can. As you can see, some of those are out of your control. That's why I said you will all have breaking points. Okay. Party Conspiracies. So, it's a tier 3 game. That means you all are going to form a cell locally. That would be tier 1. But most of you are part of a conspiracy, which is a worldwide union of hunters. That's tier 3. Tier 2 is a compact. One of you is in a compact with endowments that are tier 3. So, Sean is in the union, blue-collar hunters who band together to stop the supernatural from infringing on their home turf.
Support labor.
That's a compact. It's local to this state, which is Illinois in this case.
Monster hunters need representation too.
Yep.
Monster Hunter International.
Patty is a member of the Council of Bones, a worldwide organization of scholars, archivists, and occultists who serve the living by contacting ghosts and spirits. Devin is a member of VASCU, which is an acronym, who specialize with the investigation and profiling of serial and spree killers on a freelance basis through a corporate fund called the Vanguard Initiative. Unit also produces reports and writes papers tracking rates of mass murders and violent crime on an international scale. Due to the recent dramatic rise in monster activity, they have branched out to include hunting true monsters, not just slashers. Because when tracking violent crime on an international scale, you start to see trends. Endowments, superpowers for hunters. You all have them. For the audience, the Union, we've given advanced armoring, which normally would belong to Task Force Valor. Sean's character gets cool gear, shoot, track, and hunt monsters. Patty has paraspiritism. Why don't you explain that a little bit?
Sure. Basically, the Council of Bones, we kind of pass ourselves off as mediums and other spiritual people, sometimes even kind of saying that we are charlatans so that we can blend in easier and try to find sources of the supernatural. we prioritize dead creatures over living threats. So we use powers like. Second. I have my powers are Auric Shield, Borrowed Power, and No Death. So basically, I can summon the dead, trap them, take some of their power from them. I can also see through the guises the dead might use to hide amongst us and know their true faces, as well as protect myself from some of the things they might do to harm me or others.
Devin has teleformatics. About that.
So pretty much, my character was part of a bunch of unconventional drug therapies to enhance my mind so that I would be able to do cool things like be able to psychically tap into cameras and animals to be able to track things, or I can force myself to go faster so that in the initiative order I basically boost myself, or be a compendium of knowledge that I really wouldn't normally have, but I can tap into it because I have this wonderful weird mind due to all these drugs. Side effect though, oh man, using these powers sucks. My head hurts so much. Oh. The Psyduck.
So you got MK Ultra?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Last but not least, we have a changeling. Changelings, of course, don't have endowments from their conspiracy. Changelings were physically transformed by their time in another world, and it gives them glamour that they can draw off people's emotions and the emotions of places to fuel weird fairy tale magic powers. Why don't you talk about some of yours, Evan?
Awesome. So, my changeling is a Fairest. They belong to the Winter Court, if you couldn't tell by the blue and the white. It's not as cool on the camera.
It looks really good.
It actually looks really good, yeah.
Yes. And they are a mirror skin, which means that they can change their appearance basically at will with the spending of some glamour. But the Winter Court feeds off of sadness, sorrow, a lot of sad face, negative emotions, tears. So I might make you guys cry on purpose just to feed off of you. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that.
You
I mean-
totally would.
So you're gonna manipulate the shit out of us. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I'm gonna need a lot of F's in chat.
I can also spit on things and make them freeze. So, yeah, changeling magic is
Okay, I was with you on the I can change the way I look. I'm gonna make you sad. Oh, and I spit on things and freeze them.
I mean, it's a little more detailed than that, but
WTF, bro?
All I can say is, man, that's cold.
I was hoping for a pun-free game just once.
Yeah, right. Don't play with ever.
Tyler already beat you to the cold pun, so cold case.
I was a
It's
little
in the name
slow.
of the game.
It was a little chilly, so it took me some time. Had to warm up.
Don't be a snowflake. Anyway, my character is adept at finding their way through the hedge because of certain contracts and merits that I took. Some examples of those for any of you who are familiar with Changeling are Skin Mask, Hostile Takeover, Ermine's Winter Coat, The Dragon Nose, Ice Queen's Call, Walls Have Ears, and it's going to be like a heavily investigative game, so a lot of investigative bits are the things that I've taken. Merits Defensive Dreamscaping, which is pretty cool, Gentrified Bearing, Glamour Fasting, which means that I can last longer than a traditional changeling when I run out of glamour. So, like a vampire needs blood, changelings need glamour. Many Mask and Danger Sense, so basically you can't sneak up on me, I got this.
Are you basically like if David Bowie was a playable race?
Oh my god.
Yes.
That's
I didn't really think
amazing.
about that, but yes.
You just need like a shit ton of glamour all the time.
Yes. Oh my god, yay.
David
That
Bowie
makes
is
me
a
happy.
changeling. Yes.
Well, Goblin
mean-
Confirmed.
Yeah, Goblin King, Jareth, so
Right.
He's not dead. He's just off in the fairy world, getting
He's
more
just living
glamour.
in hedge.
exactly. He's in the
Didn't
hedge.
die, he just went home.
Precisely.
Well, now I'm happy about that. Okay.
So for those who don't know, the hedge is between our world and the fairy world, which is called Arcadia. It's really hard to get all the way to the fairy world, and for the true fae to get all the way to ours, or get lost in the hedge. Or the thorns tear you apart, literally, and figuratively, at the same time. Don't go there. That's what we're talking about. Alright, dice. Like all the other Onyx Path games, 10-sided die. Unlike World of Darkness, most of you have been on Mondays playing Mage the Ascension. Instead of the difficulty sliding to reflect challenges, difficulty is always 8, but the number of dice in the pool and which dice explode slides to indicate the level of difficulty. So, if you roll a 10, it explodes, it becomes 10 again. Sometimes you can roll 9 again, and 8 again for ultimate victory. And the number of dice in your pool always starts out as either an attribute plus an attribute, or an attribute plus a skill. Chronicles of Darkness leans pretty heavy on attributes, so unlike World of Darkness also, there'll be a lot of 2 attributes, not necessarily always an attribute. Skills tend to be more specific, you'll notice there's less of them. And a lot of non-specific things are attribute plus attribute. You either get a success when you roll, an exceptional success, failure, or a dramatic failure. So, the basic mechanic is like it always is, build the pool, add or subtract the modifiers, roll the dice. However, if the penalties ever reduce your dice pool to 0 or even to negative, still roll one single d10. It's called a chance die. If you succeed, you have... Okay, in order to succeed, you must roll a 10. But it doesn't reroll. If you roll a 1, it's a dramatic failure. That's the only way to get a dramatic failure without choosing to. In a regular roll where you have a dice pool, you only can ever get regular failures. The way to get a dramatic failure is to choose to turn a regular failure dramatic in exchange for beats. Drama gets experience. Okay. 1 to 4 successes is called a success. You did what you needed to do. 5 or more successes is exceptional. It will gain you the inspired condition, and sometimes maybe other cool things. A failure is 0 successes. And a voluntary dramatic failure is when you convert a regular failure into a dramatic failure. A risked willpower dramatic failure is when you get no successes for an action on which you risk willpower. You get 2 beats and apply the effects of a dramatic failure, and lose willpower. Like, forever. However, if you risk willpower and succeed, the result is always dramatically good. Okay. Damage rolls will always be like, so it works similar to World of Darkness in that your weapon has a base number of damage die, but you also roll the attack, and your successes count as damage once you hit. So like, in World of Darkness, you might get strength plus base weapon damage. In this game, typically it's just the weapon has a set pool. Roll to hit, you hit, then you roll the weapon's dice. Some weapons will include for your dex, but not all the time. Like, sometimes we will declare an action rote. What that means is you've got plenty of training, steps you need are all right there, and or you have lots of time to do it. This is still not so simple you don't need to roll. Still a thing that requires a roll. However, you're really good at it, and it's more than likely that you're going to win. When that happens, that means that any dice that is not an 8, a 9, or a 10, you can roll once. Stand by, audience. Zoom crashed momentarily.
Gasp.
Sad face.
Entertain everyone.
Oh, cool. I'm Space Lord right now.
Sprout can't be seen.
I have a cat. Wait. No, I don't. Damn it.
On this glorious day, we are all Space Lord.
I love it. That's great.
So say we all.
So say the many, so say we all.
Somehow I'm still in the right spot. That's kind of awesome.
It's because you're the storyteller. You have to be in the
Clearly.
right spot.
We are looking into the twilight. We'll be back. Yeah. Oh, we got trapped in the hedge. We'll be right back.
I like how you and the person who isn't here are the only people in the right spots.
Yeah, I got so excited about the idea that David Bowie's just past the hedge. I was like, let's do it, guys. Let's go. Let's go see him right now.
Yeah, thank you. Our root doctor over there decided to drag us into the hedge to find David Bowie. We were minorly successful. We could hear this magic dance, but we couldn't see him.
He was currently judging a
Whoop.
what they call it in Zoolander? A walk-off or a...
Catwalk?
Was it a catwalk off?
I have no idea.
I forget what it was, but it was like towards the beginning of the movie, and Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson's character are like having a walk off or whatever the hell they called it. Like, we need a judge, and David Bowie just comes out of the crowd. I think I could be of assistance.
It was a walk-off.
Okay.
Nice.
This is apparently a movie I need to see.
Just like, you just need just that part.
Yeah, honestly, just Google that part. It's...
The rest of it's, I mean, if you like really stupid humor, check it out.
Depends on the humor. Oh my god, Sprout's so cute.
It's like classic Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, like original.
Yeah.
Like, one of them.
Actually, I'll be right back. Come on, bud.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
No.
I was hoping the cat would take his place.
No, the cat Sprout's gonna follow Daddy.
Only you were cool
Such
enough
luck.
to replace yourself with an animal patty.
That's true. It's true.
Okay.
I don't think we'd be able to get any of our animals to stay still long enough.
So,
Sure, just sedate them.
what we were talking about when it froze was rote rolls. And I don't know if it
Rote
froze
rolls.
for everyone or if my thing kept going. Who knows? But
Your thing kept going initially.
yeah. So the audience might have heard it, but you didn't. So anytime that you have time to do the job, or you're very, very skilled at it, or you have a condition that allows it, your roll becomes still not easy enough that you don't need to roll. But when you roll, anything that's not an 8 or 9 or a 10, you can do. That's what that means. Retrying. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But no matter what, you'll have a penalty, which stacks. The more you try, the worse it gets. And of course, if it's a skill roll and you don't have any dots in the skill, you take those penalty on the fair sheet to that roll. Worse for knowledges. And then, of course, as normal, teamwork can give each other bonuses, which we'll get to in a minute. Okay. There are 3 actions one can take in a round-by-round scenario. Instant, reflexive, and extended. Extended takes more than 1 turn. Reflexive doesn't count. It's like a bonus action, and instant action. The way you can roll is a simple roll, which means no opposition. Tested roll means the target is subtracting from your pool, and resisted means you both roll, and the higher wins. Extended actions means it takes more than 1 turn and or scene to complete. You keep going and stacking successes unless you fail or dramatically fail, and then the whole thing falls apart. Like Jenga. Every multiple action roll will have a roll limit, meaning you can only roll so many times before you succeed. And it will have required successes set ahead of time, usually between 5 and 20. Questions on any of that? Okay. You can also take a break from extended actions if necessary, like if they're very long scene related, not action by action. Willpower! Your hero points. Spending willpower. It's a reflexive action, meaning that when you spend willpower, it's free. It doesn't actually take up your turn. If you spend it on a roll, you can add 3 dice to the roll. You can also spend 1 willpower to gain +2 resistance, single action. Also, several of your powers and merits will require you to spend willpower to feel it. You know if you have it. You can only spend 1 willpower per turn. After you sleep for a night, you get back a willpower. Every time you meaningfully... Yep, sleeping
Singular?
for a night's a single willpower recovery.
Okay.
Every time you meaningfully fulfill your virtue, you get it all. The game rule is up to twice per chapter. My rule is once per chapter. Especially in a game that's only going to have a few chapters. Every time you meaningfully fulfill your vice, you get 1 willpower point back. Do that once per scene as much as you can. Again, drama wins. Touchstones. Every time you defend your relationship with your touchstone, which means protect them or spend time with them, you get either 1 point or all of your willpower back. It depends on the happening. Experiences. Spend 1 experience to roll Resolve plus Composure to regain 1 willpower for each success rolled up to your maximum. On a failed roll, keep 1. Like we talked about before. Or spend 1 beat to just get 1 back without rolling. Risking willpower successfully. If you successfully risk your willpower, you regain the willpower you risked and an additional willpower. That's the main reason you would risk willpower instead of spending. Like you're dramatically low and you must succeed on this roll and you just need those extra 3 dice. You don't want to lose that last point because then you become fatigued and exhausted and you get all the negative effects of not having willpower. You can risk it. If you win, keep the 1 in, get 1 back. Lose if things get real. Here are the things that you can never do when risking willpower. Perception-based actions and actions to investigate possible monster involvement, unless it's a tactic, which you'll know what those are. They're very specific. Avoiding ambush, resisting toxins or fatigue, or other actions preserve your own safety at the expense of the hunt. However, protective actions on behalf of other people do count. Activating your endowments. You spend those, you don't get to not spend. Activating your supernatural powers. You spend those, you don't get to do that. That's it.
So, question for willpower regaining. Just because mine's a thing where it says every time I damage, I get it back. So I can get that every turn?
Once per scene, not once per turn.
Okay.
But probably not going to be the very often fight where you're burning that every turn. You could.
Actually,
you could
every
just
one
do
of my
that.
powers is. Every one of my powers is. So in order to activate, I basically have to spend.
Right. And it's free once per fight, correct. Or scene. A fight might not even be its own scene. So, when you're risking willpower, you can do all the normal things, like gain the 3 die bonus. You can do other things too. Turn on a tactic. Achieve exceptional success on 3 instead of 5. Gain +1 die to attack weapons damage bonus. Gain the 9 again quality or remove 10 again quality from an opponent's roll in a contested. Conditions. Conditions are going to come up a lot. They will all have specific mechanics. I will hand them to you either in printed out format in Discord or in card format so that you can see them. It will tell you this is what you do to resolve it and make it go away. Every time this happens, you get a beat. You also get this negative. Tilts. Tilts also exist. Tilts come before conditions. Tilts almost always become conditions. So, breathing in poisoned air is going to cause some kind of tilt. And you're going to get a temporary penalty, and you're going to have to make a fail to roll. Then you're going to get like long-term poisoning, and now you have. Make sense? Things you can do in a turn. Move up to your speed and take one instant action, or move twice your speed. When you roll initiative, you roll a d10 plus the initiative bonus listed on your character sheet. Naming sheets are awesome and actually calculate all those math for you. If you raise your dots in the future, those numbers will update. Power, your speed, your initiative bonus, your defense bonus, all of that. Everything but health.
Nice.
When we do initiative, we're going to add one additional rule, where after everyone rolls initiative, the slowest person declares their actions first, including the enemies, and then the enemies you're aware of, and then all the way up to the fastest person. This reflects the fact that in a turn, everything happens all at once, not action by action. Like in D&D, it's too easy to fall into the trap of things are happening consecutively. They're not. They're happening all at the same time. So that means the faster people in initiative can react to the slower people's actions. That's why we do it that way. So you'll declare actions in reverse and then take actions in turn top to bottom. Whenever it's a fight, also, I will need the party or the individual who starts the problem to declare intent, which means everybody wants something out of a conflict. The very first thing you need to do before worrying about who attacks first is determine what you want out of the fight. Simple sentence. I want to kill the vampire. I want the book that Sean's holding. I want to rescue Devin. If your intent does not include causing harm and your character ends up killing someone, you will lose willpower. Surprise rounds. If there is a chance for surprise, you will roll wits plus composures. Possibly contested, possibly against a static number. If you win, you're not surprised. Fail, you are surprised. If you are surprised, you cannot apply your defense or take an action until the second turn. Questions on all of that? It's all pretty basic. Defense. Your defense number is a mitigation of damage. So like a lot of games, it's not a number to roll against, it subtracts from your target's roll. Usually straight from damage, not the 2-hit chance. To avoid getting hit, choose to take dodge as an action. Multiple hazards. In each action scene, every time you resist, your defense loses a point until it runs out. At the beginning of the next turn, it resets to 4. You can choose not to resist against defense. Like, you don't have to defend against every attack. Questions? Chronicles of Darkness has down and dirty combat. It's the kind of fight where it's not really important. It's basically a lot of mooks. So, your rolls are going to be more basic and your results are going to be more amazing. So, like, Patty rolls dexterity plus firearms and he succeeds, I'm going to say, yeah, that guy's dead. Didn't have to roll damage. It's also how mooks are handled in a regular fight. In a down and dirty fight, everyone works that way. In a regular fight, mooks work that way, but not for NPCs. Also, in a down and dirty fight, if you get an exceptional success, you gain willpower. Injury and healing. Bashing damage, you can recover 1 point every 15 minutes, point by point. Lethal damage takes 2 days, and aggravated damage takes weeks. You can increase that with long-term care with someone with medicine or first aid. If you have more than one kind of damage, start on the right, work your way left. Rightmost damage goes away first. Every dot has to follow its own time increment. That means you have bashing, lethal, bashing. Your first box is bashing, second's lethal, third's bashing. You'll heal that third bashing first in 15 minutes. Then you'll heal that lethal for 2 days. Then you'll heal that last bashing 15 minutes later at just 2 days as well. They must go in order, and you can't reduce earlier ones even if they're less damaging until later ones.
Interesting.
Yeah. On the character sheet, you'll notice there's a lot of boxes. Left to right, top to bottom, depending on which sheet we're using. Bashing is always first, lethal is always second, activated is always third. Farther away from your health is lethal and activated. That way you can keep track. Upgrading damage. If you have bashing damage but no empty health boxes left, and you get hit again, you don't automatically get knocked out unless the bad guy is trying to knock you out. Your bashing will then start upgrading. And then your lethal will start upgrading to aggravated. And then you'll die. you can see the penalties next to your health. In the third to last health box, -1 to everything except stamina to stay conscious. -2 at second to last, and -3 at the last box. Questions? Okay.
Nope.
If your character's rightmost health box has lethal damage, you start bleeding out. And you suffer 1 lethal damage per turn until you fill with all lethal or you die. Yeah. 1 week to recover a point of aggravating. So, 15 minutes, 2 days, 1 week, or do medicine checks. I usually... So, if you have medical care, the doctor rolls Dex plus medicine with a 1-minute interval for emergency treatment, or intelligence plus medicine for 1 hour interval for long term. Emergency care, you must get a number of successes equal to total damage. Succeed, you immediately heal a bashing. So, useful, but not great if you got shot. Long-term care, successful treatment roll, downgrades aggravated to lethal, or lethal to bashing. But you have to get 10 successes per aggravated wound, or 5 successes per wound. The limits of long-term care is the leftmost injury has to be healed first. You can only do 1 roll per day. Questions, doctors? Okay.
I'm gonna try.
Beaten down and surrender. Beaten down is optional. You never have to, as PCs, you never have to say you're beaten down. You choose to say it. If you choose... So every time you take more than your stamina in bashing damage, or any lethal damage, you can say, I want to be beaten down. Take a beat, like down till. Surrender is the same. At any time during a fight, surrender and give the attacker what they want if you're not the attacker. You will regain a point of willpower and take a beating. Again, drama gets experience. Now, you can surrender in the fight, and your party can keep fighting, but you're out of that fight. Social maneuvering. We touched on this with a couple of you a little bit. It's a little bit different. Chronicles of Darkness. Whenever you want to do a specific thing to a specific person socially, we specifically set out the intent as a 1-sentence description. And then I tell you how many doors you need to get through with your target to win. The subject starts with doors equal to resolve or composure, whatever's lower for them. And then they can go up if they have a bad impression of you, which I have a chart for that, or if you're like trying to convince them while you punch them or burn their house down. Intimidation. If the impression is too hostile, you might not be able to. And then you start rolling either... It's always extended roll to do this. At each interval, you make a roll, any of you that are involved in the social interaction, and then we role play it out. The roll might change at every interval depending on how the conversation progresses. You could go from asking someone for a date to drinks to being back at the hotel room. The roles involved will change, but you're still after the same goal. Remove all the doors. If you succeed on the roll, the door goes away. You keep going until you get through all the doors. Regular success, 1 door. Exceptional success, 2 doors. Failure, no doors, and a penalty to future rolls. Dramatic failure, yeah, that the drink gets through. Questions? You can also force doors when you don't have time for all of this moozing and sweet talk. High risk, high reward. Single roll, all or nothing. Also, you have to role play it properly. Threats, drugs, intimidation, blackmail, whatever. It's always heavy-handed. And of course, that has long-term consequences for that enemies. And since we're talking about social maneuvering, a note on consent. You can never social maneuver PCs. You can never remove the help me out with the word here. I've been talking a lot. Wow.
What type of
The stuff and things.
The free will of a player, there's a word for that.
Free will.
Sentience.
of
No.
player?
Agency. You can never forcibly
Oh.
remove the
Free
agency
agency.
of a PC. So these kinds of social maneuvering things are only PC. Investigation. This is a game that has lots of investigation. There are never any hard answers. Also, never any binary rolls, which means I rolled my dice. Tell me the answer. You will always be collecting clues. Clues are a currency. You make rolls no matter what kind of investigation you're doing, and I tell you, you get a clue. The clue might not be me saying vampires are allergic to sunlight. It might be me saying, you now know you have to go talk to this guy and tell him you have a clue. Go talk to that guy and tell him you have a clue, and now you've opened a new door to the story. Sometimes it's not me telling you information, it's me giving you currency, like in a board game. Make sense?
Sure.
Okay. Investigations work like everything else. Declare intent in a sentence, roll dice, determine intervals, go till succeed or failure. Teamwork! When using teamwork, following steps must occur in order. Declare your intent in the sentence. The primary actor assembles the dice pool. Secondary actors assemble their dice pools to match the primary. Secondary rolls first. Primary rolls second. Secondary actors' roll results are then added or subtracted from the primary's rolls. Primary then determines success or failure. Question?
You only added the subtracting part because of me, didn't you?
These are all straight out of the Hunter the Vigil 2E Kickstarter preview.
No, I was meaning just saying that part.
Yes.
Because I'm the only one that's gonna muck it up. My first test roll of this was
2-2-1-2-2. Yes.
2-2-1-2. It was fantastic.
So you can do a teamwork roll anytime you want. There's no prerequisites. However, skills are not interchangeable. Everybody rolls the same thing, or you don't roll. Tactics. Tactics are things only hunters can use. But Steve will qualify because he kills monsters. So, Ever cannot help you do tactics. Mostly the three of you. Tactics can be purchased with experience, and since you're seasoned hunters, you're not a sell yet, but you're going to be real quick. You get to start with 3 tactics that the 3 of you can fight over. Ever can defend things. They like to gel with your powers very well. You 3 get final say. To perform a tactic, the primary actor risks a willpower point. And then the group follows through following the instructions of the tactic, success or fail. You get all the benefits of risking willpower and all that. There must be at least 2 hunters. Sometimes the tactics will require more. I will mitigate it to the size of your party if all 3 of you are participating in a war. Unless it's, if I let you have the tactic, you only need 3. Okay. Tactics. Then we get to the document.
Let's get tactical.
Page
Tactical.
42. Okay. You get 1 social, 1 mental, and 1 physical to start. After that, you can pull your XPs and buy more if you want as a group. Up to you guys. Apparently not that book. It's this one. Okay. Mental tactics. Number 1, bind ward. Spirits, ghosts, and demons. Primary actor must have occult 2. Secondary actors must have occult or crafts at 1 or higher. You must already know a weakness the creature has that can be used to bind or ward against it. If your info is wrong, the tactic will fail. You take 15 minutes to prepare the area, and then you roll. If you succeed, monsters bound within the confines of the area, or it cannot enter for a number of days equal. That's true. Cannot break it, or no matter what. Someone else could. Exceptional successes, extra day. Failure, it doesn't work. Dramatic failure, it disrupts you before you're done. Okay, that's one. Monster lore. This is, of course, looking up true facts about monsters. All actors must have 2+ in the relevant social merit, and you must choose a specific type of monster. It's extended role. If you succeed, for each successful roll, you learn one weakness of the monster that generally is possessed by that type of monster. One common dread power, or one other capability that kind of monster generally has. Or one piece of information about it, where it comes from and how it came to be. Not necessarily that specific one, but it is its kind. Failure, you don't get anything. Dramatic failure, not only is your info wrong, it's catastrophically wrong. So that one, I'll do the roll for you. Profiling, that's what it sounds like. It works just like lore. Sweep, that's sneaking into a monster's lair and sweeping and clearing as a team. Exactly what it sounds like. Which of those do you want? Sweep and clear, profile, lore, or...
This is something we all are choosing.
You 3 hunters,
Yes.
everyone but Ever. Because you all have to participate to use these.
What's a ward do? What is that?
The monster either can't enter or can't leave the warded area for 1 day per success rolled.
Kind of like that one.
That is
Evan?
fair.
That's not bad. I do
Yeah.
have the supernatural ability of warding. So like I have like a baby version of that.
Okay.
How's the baby version work? Like,
Like I can imbue an item of some sort and give it to myself or other people. I can make multiple of them, and I can pick a specific type of creepy crawly and just be like, no touching, no touching.
okay. So basically a superpower version of that. I like it though.
Okay, so all of you write that down so you all know you have it. 3 of you.
What was the
Because-
secondary characteristics you needed? There's 2 in occult for the
Occult
primary
or
actor
crafting.
Okay.
I-
One
I
in
have
occult.
I have a shit ton of occult.
You need 1 in occult or 1 in crafting too.
Okay.
Which all
Good.
3 of you should have 1 in.
Yeah. Dos occultos.
It's a weird party of hunters that don't all have some occult. Okay, physical. Called shots. This is a group tactic because somebody's calling out the location, somebody's taking a shot. This one only requires 2 of you to participate, but you still have to all agree to take it. Obviously, if it works, you do great damage. Failures, you don't. If you dramatically failure, you hit the closest person to the monster, which is probably
Oof.
the guy calling the shot for you.
Oops.
Capture. That's what it sounds like. Work as a group to capture the monster. Controlled immolation. Burn it with fire, but don't burn down the neighborhood, the house, or the innocents. Corral. So, capture means you put it in a box or chains and drag it away. Corral means you corner it. That's the difference. Because corralling could be pushing them into a trap or something, instead of trying to actually drag them away.
I mean, you had me at burn it with fire.
Yeah.
So,
So I don't think we need capture corral because we have warding. We can trap it with our warding.
Harvest. Collect something from the monster and use it.
That's gross.
Ooh.
Could be gross.
Your
Could be interesting.
your voodoo practitioner is very interested in that one.
Lure. Using bait that aren't innocent people. Using yourselves to seem like innocent. Scatter, which is get the hell out, don't get caught. Go different directions and meet up later.
That's not a bad idea.
So those are your choices. Scatter, lure, harvest, corral, controlled immolation, capture. Called
I
shot.
say fire or scatter. Those are mine.
My vote is going to be burn it with fire because
What a coincidence. That's part
Like-
of my powers.
Selfishly, I want harvest, but I think the 2 best are scatter and fire.
I like controlled immolation.
Yeah, your psychic pyrokinetic.
Yeah, that's basically all I do is burn things. So
Also, if we do fuck it up, which we will inevitably, I might be able to help kind of corral some of the fire.
oh,
I'll just burn the
Perfect.
fire. That's the way it works, right? I'll burn the fire.
Yes, that is how that works. You are
How do you
correct.
put out a grease fire? You start a larger fire next to it.
Right.
Sucks the oxygen away from it. Boom.
There's controlled immolation.
Excellent.
This is a tactic.
Yes.
All right.
The primary actor sets the monster on fire and keeps it burning. Yes.
Cool.
I wonder who the primary actor is gonna be.
Not I.
There is that one's too big, so it came out as a text doc, but that's Ward.
There you go.
And last but not least, we choose the social one.
Did anyone take any face abilities or face skills?
The character's not much of a face, but I do think I have persuasion.
My face skills are empathy, persuasion, and subterfuge.
Okay, I've got subterfuge, streetwise persuasion, and a little bit of empathy.
Yeah, I got one in almost everything there, and there I have persuasion. Yep. Yawn.
How dare you?
Okay. Social tactics. Adrenaline rush. Work yourselves up into a frenzy to get the benefits of an adrenaline rush. You won't get knocked out if your health boxes fill up, and you can... Freeing mind. You can help each other escape negative mental effects.
Free your mind.
Expose. That's what it sounds like. Tell the world about that monster.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
I was thinking something different.
Pick one of those three. Adrenaline rush, free the mind, expose.
What's adrenaline rush again?
We go berserker frenzy.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
You don't take damage penalties, and you don't get knocked out when you fill up your health boxes until the adrenaline wears off. You're riling yourselves up. Yeah. In addition to
a doctor.
In addition to that, whatever the primary actor rolls as successes, you all get as a bonus to natural powers for the scene.
And then free your mind is literally just like break out of some mind control.
Helping each other free from mind control or fear or anything that's mental. Yeah.
Those
False-
powers
false
usually
love,
really suck.
Blood bond from vampires, right? Unnatural memory loss, magic commands, possession. Big list.
Kinda like
all those
that one.
all those powers really suck to have against you.
Yeah.
It's like that's
I
the
like-
one you want.
I like not being charm monstered.
Yeah. I like that too. Help me not hurt everyone.
Yeah.
Because then we're going to suffer a breaking point soon thereafter.
but-
We regain control if we're
That
not
one is
dead.
also a text doc, apparently.
Yeah, the MK Ultra guy just said he can control flames with his brain, so I don't want him against me.
Oh, come on. You don't want me to start shouting, the roof, the roof,
Nope.
the roof is on fire.
Nope.
I burned
nope,
it.
Nope. Nope.
I like my skin exactly where it is. Not melted in a puddle next to me.
All right. Last chance for questions. That was it.
all the questions.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
No.
Okay.
That was easy.
You didn't ask for hard questions, so you know.
Hmm? Alright, there we go.
All right. Ever. The final choice for the name of the thing, but in Discord. I went with the first one, but then you had that second one and you never decided. First one? Second one.
Snow White or Alice?
Alice.
Snow White.
Alice.
Okay, then the first one.
Okay.
No, wait. Yeah, no, wait. Yeah, no, wait. Wait, 2 voted against you, but the DM counts for 2 votes. So
That means Sean has to
I
vote.
mean, Sean has to vote.
I vote for Luke Evans as Gaston.
Yeah.
That has nothing to.
Russia, so that could apply to the first one. But the candlestick talks, so that applies to the second one. That didn't help. Try again, Sean.
Crap.
Okay. What am I? Snow White or Alice? What am I determining?
What her?
The name of your dive bar that you all hang out at.
Oh.
Not your dive bar, the group's dive bar.
Right.
Slick as Gaston. No one's quick as
Ellis,
Gaston.
because you're looking through the glass.
No.
One's neck
You
as
have to
No.
pick one of the two.
Thick as Gaston.
Because Ever already has two names chosen. But you gotta
What?
pick the theme you want.
I would say Snow's White because
Which one it is?
we can
There's no
sell
man in
like
town half as
what is it? Wicked Orchard. Like our specialty is Wicked Orchard cider.
Nice.
So,
Perfect, a pure paragon.
lost Patty. Okay,
That's
so
fine.
I was going to start joining in, but he didn't get to those lines yet.
full cases. Forsaken spaces. It's fall. It's late September. Maybe mid-September. It's hard to tell. Time is a mystery in 2020. It's been a hell of a year.
We're in what? March, right?
The air is crisp. The nights are short. Leaves are falling. You all live in Chicago. G-Town. Complete with the trains running past your apartment. And the best hard rock in the world downtown.
That's
Currently-
blues, man.
Currently, you, well, right, before we do that, I need to set the names. Some of you I had them, but I didn't actually set them yet. On. Please give me your silly name again.
Macintosh McGuire.
Go. Wow, that made it a lot bigger. Gotta shrink that. Devin.
Silly name, Psyduck.
What is it?
Psyduck.
No, what's your actual name? They can call you whatever they want.
Oh, okay. I didn't think of the last name, so
Just give me the first name. It's
I
fine.
will
Kyle.
not.
Yeah, I don't need the last name. For the audience. Patty!
If you're not wearing flip flops and drinking Red Bull, you're not an actual Kyle.
That is true.
Well, that just set that character terribly. Patty!
Baptiste Fontaine.
Fontaine have an E?
No, spelled like fountain.
the accents.
Nope. It's the Cajun spelling.
I don't want sugar breads, goddammit.
And ever.
Reese, spelled R-H-Y-S. The traditional way.
You want your last name
What?
on here?
Yeah, I might as well. Last name is Sinclair.
What is the etymology of Reese?
It's Welsh, actually, and it branches from, it's spelled R-I-S, and it means dragon.
You want Sinclair to have E.
Nope.
No E.
Both your first name and your last name could count as my character's last name. It would work. Kyle Reese.
I don't know.
You're
Okay.
gonna need to go with Devin if you want to live. So
Sean with the pun.
no, that was just a callback to a movie. That's not.
Counts. It counts.
That's not a pun.
It does
That's not
count.
a pun. No,
It does
fuck that.
count.
I am not going with.
I'm with you.
I did not
I'm-
make a pun.
I'm with you, Sean. You're still pun free.
Sean's very
Right.
punny tonight.
No,
Very
that's
funny.
not a pun. That's just a reference. That's a callback.
It just happens to be.
No. Mm-mm.
Yep.
No,
Nope. We've started down the dark path
nope,
now.
Nope.
We all
cannot
secretly
return.
know the truth. Kyle. One of your father's old contacts received a tip from an FBI informant about a cold case that suddenly might not be so cold. picked it up from your local group because it was like a challenge. None of them cared about it. If it was not a cold case anymore, who cares about that old nonsense?
I can heat it up.
That's fun. After following several leads, you finally found your mark and have tailed him to a dive bar he seems to frequent called the Huntsman, downtown Chicago, or near downtown Chicago. Cold case itself is across the lake, up in northern Michigan, in some place you've never heard of called Manistee. That's not how it's spelled. You don't know why it's called that. When that's not how it's spelled, you don't care. Oh, I didn't pick that everything. A family reported a home invasion in the middle of the night. They claimed, no matter how much they were ridiculed or how much the cops grilled them, that a Wendigo was tearing the throat out of their daughter in the living room in the middle of the night. By Wendigo, they mean upright humanoid with cloven hooves and deer horns for a head and sharp claws. Creature tearing the throat out of their daughter, Dad reacted as dads would and shot it. It howled in some kind of strange noise that knocked them out. When they woke up, there was no monster, but there was a dead guy in their living room. And, I'm sorry, I said daughter. I meant son! Let's say daughter. Her son was getting the throat torn out. The sun was gone, leaving only a pile of leaves, twigs, twine, and a strange resin in the shape of the sun collapsed on the ground. The son was never found. But they did make a how he would look now drawing before they gave up on the case. The FBI apparently fed that into an experimental program they were running for advanced facial recognition and got a hit on the long-lost son. When the story begins, you know that he is in the bar on this night. And so you're going to show up and do whatever you do. Confront him, talk to him, it's up to you. But you're going into the bar this time.
Okay. Are we as a group, or is this just me solo?
This is just you.
Okay.
Baptiste.
Wait.
Cold case. Delivered to your conspiracy. Suddenly isn't as cold as it once was. A case of double resurrection. So obviously it made its way to your conspiracy. And they sent you to deal with it because you were free. That's it, no other special reason. You're next in line for a job. So, put your assistant in charge, took a month off, and headed to Chicago, wearing the whole way because it's really fucking cold here. Original case that you were dealing with was, about 20 years ago, in a small town that you can pronounce correctly because it's obviously a French word and it is Manistee. Across the lake from Chicago, a person was brutally murdered in public by a strange Wendigo-like creature. Multiple witnesses saw this creature kill this person and drag the body off. The body was never found, but a week or two later, the victim returned home unharmed, intact, with no memory of anything of the last 2 weeks. Several weeks later, the Wendigo was found in another home, shot to death as a home invader, apparently after helping kidnap someone's son. It wasn't a Wendigo, it was just a guy. However, apparently, that guy's alive and well again. Has been seen wandering around downtown Chicago. You showed up, got your hotel room, did your due diligence, and managed to track the guy to the same bar. Macintosh. You were called into a meeting at the local 763, given a new case. It was given to you because a founding member of the Union put down this monster years ago. That member has since passed away. The monster's back, so they put their most senior guy on it. Can't let. The thought around town is you didn't actually put it down. Can't let a storied, well-loved person have bad memories, so you're going to go kill it quietly and get rid of it. Finds out that hold the honor of your fallen brother. In your case, it is again a strange Wendigo-like creature that somehow turns into a man when it's killed. Was destroyed, but not 20 years ago. It was in the same town, but it was in 1977. A strange cult had sprung up, and this creature confronted the cult leader and was killed by your predecessor, who was there investigating the cult. Now it's back and alive again, the human form of it. You have also tracked it to this bar.
So when the Wendigo dies,
It's just a dude.
it's just a dude.
And you're pretty sure, all of you would be pretty sure from the limited information you have, this is wild supposition of course, that it has some kind of illusion power, it can make itself look different, it's not an actual shapeshifter.
So it's just a dude.
Because you've all heard of werewolves. This isn't a werewolf. There's no such thing as were-deer. That's dumb.
No, actually, that sounds kind of cool. Got the antlers and stuff.
You're assuming it's some kind of projection to terrify the victims. Who dies, it's just a dude. And he's one of those will workers or a witch or who knows. Demon worshiper. You won't know, so you deal with it. All you know is this is the dive bar where you know it's been hanging out.
Okay.
Reese, you're here because this is where you go to drink all the time when you need to hang out. This particular dive bar. Nice. This particular dive bar, which is called the Huntsman, is neutral ground. It's a known place for the strange and bizarre of the city to show up. Still have to hide in their human forms, but no one asks any question, and nobody fights in here. There's no conflict between supernaturals. You three hunters would know this as well if you have encased conflict. Even your kind can come in here and drink. If you break the rules, it's probably going to be real bad for your health. However, Reese is already in there, pounding down the hard cider, apparently. The rest of you were casing the outside of the joint when you all made your perception checks and noticed each other casing the joint. How you handle that's up to each of you.
So fighting's not allowed, but I can still use some of my...
You're not
powers.
inside the bar at the moment.
Oh, okay.
All three hunters are outside of the bar, planning their next move when they notice what it's like when someone else is casing. One of you is in a dark alley about around the side of the building, one car truck across the street. The other one of you is across the different street at a different place that has outdoor seating, enjoying a drink or a coffee on the patio.
I'm gonna get up from where I am and just approach one of them.
Describe yourself physically.
Just kind of a like bulking hulk of a dude. Like, you know, fit and everything, but just like he just really big dude. Really lots of stamina. But he's got like a beard. It's kind of balding. Actually, no, he's got a shaved. He's doing the shaved head and bald, or shaved head and beard look. So,
Off.
yeah. But yeah, he usually wears like the same, just sort of like drab coat and t-shirt and jeans or whatever.
Okay. Which one of them are you walking up to?
Who's in the alley and who's on the bench?
I feel like
I like
Baptiste would
bench.
be at the bench.
He'll go sit next to Baptiste.
Baptiste, describe yourself.
I am a average height dude. I got a little bit of a pot belly, just a little bit though. You know, times have been good, so been able to indulge into some a little bit more desserts. Got a little bit of a sweet tooth. I wear a lot of purple, and it's kind of like semi-formal almost, like I'm going to like a nice club where it's like a purple vest and black sport coat kind of thing with a black t-shirt. I wear a hat clean shaven, and I have a lot of jewelry on. I got like a beaded bracelet, a really large brooch. That's kind of it's gold with like a lot of like jade inlaid in it, and it has kind of some like bone. It almost kind of looks like a chicken skull almost, but not like creepy, kind of like macabre. It's like it's more decorative. It looks kind of cool. And I have a walking stick as well. And I'm currently I'm playing with a deck of cards right now as Macintosh approaches.
Describe yourself also, Kyle, because they've seen you. Seen them.
I'm standing there in the alley wearing comfy jeans, comfy shoes, and a shirt that's got Cthulhu on it. Just regular t-shirt. It's got Cthulhu on it that says, pick the greatest of all evils, 2020. Except it's got a nice little knife in the actual Cthulhu. And just a skinny stick of a white guy that is just awkwardly standing in the hall or standing in the alley, and just shortcut brown hair and 5 o'clock shadow permanently attached.
How old are you?
28.
Fontaine?
30.
Macintosh.
Probably late 40s.
Do you look late 40s, or do you look like Bruce Willis late 40s?
Bruce Willis, late 40s.
Okay.
Nice.
60s. Got it, old
Right.
man.
Macintosh
Seen
plops
some
down
shit.
next to you at your table. Begin.
You seen the guy in the alley? You with him?
That couillon? Nah, that boy by himself.
Oh, you're not from around here, are you?
No, I'm from Nolans.
Couldn't have guessed that one. You looking into this Wendigo business too?
Yeah, I had some dirty business. Looks like do some foul play, some spirits, stirring up the juju.
Yeah. How long we gotta let him sit in the alley?
He just starts walking up to you guys, and he's like, I don't need to spend any time in that alley, and you guys are giving me a headache. Talking about things underneath your head. Sorry, I shouldn't be listening to your thoughts right now. Shouldn't do that. It hurts too much. Hi, I'm like you guys. Kind of.
This boy Casade.
What?
You Casade.
Slow blinks all around.
Drunk. You drunk, boy.
No. I'm reading your minds, and it hurts. Every time I do this, it always hurts. Yet I always do it.
So stop
Random
that.
dude walks up to you and says he can read your mind.
You guys were talking about Wendigos.
Not in our heads, to each other.
Yeah, you said it in your head too.
We need to talk about consent.
I'm gonna need you to stop doing that.
Yeah. You're gonna like it later.
No, probably not.
No, sir.
Well, you'll be able to hear me too. Well, no, maybe you guys won't.
Anyway, that
Yeah.
Wendigo.
Yeah, that thing. Is that what I'm looking at? Because I just know that this kid came back from being missing for like 20 plus years.
Yeah, that boy then got resurrected.
That makes sense. Okay.
Was
I'm
my
not doing it
description
anymore.
a boy, Tyler, or was it was a man, right?
Baptiste and Macintosh, you were surely here because the Wendigo resurrected itself. Kyle, you're here because a victim of the Wendigo that disappeared into the night. You found a match on a picture that's what would they look like now.
And I'm here looking at a person who disappeared and because of
Is
a
not a
Wendigo,
child anymore.
yeah,
When that person disappeared, they would have been 8 or 9, 10.
I'm looking into a guy. He's supposed to be dead back in '77. If he's still around, that's here to put him down.
Yeah, that's my target too.
Except yours didn't die in 77, Baptiste. It would have been early to mid 90s.
Oh, I didn't realize there's a time difference.
Also, you both have pictures of the Wendigo in his man form. If you were to compare them between Baptiste and Macintosh, they look exactly the same, even though they're 20 years apart.
Huh.
I showed them my picture of the
Which is someone else entirely.
yeah.
Some
Like-
dude.
Yeah, no, not for the same reason. Sorry, guys.
No, that ain't
Actually,
my dude.
if you're looking at their picture, Kyle, it looks like the person that was shot in the home invasion, but not the person who appeared was kidnapped.
Okay.
Your police report would say multiple suspects assumed. One shot and killed, others escaped with the child.
Okay.
One that was shot and killed, the one they're looking at, which would have been weeks apart from Baptiste's in the same town.
Wait, hey guys, I know that picture.
Yeah?
That guy's dead.
Yeah, he's supposed
Yeah.
to be dead.
That's the problem.
That's the point. I'm here to put him back in the grave, if that's what it is.
Okay. So you'll kill him instead of this headache killing me. Got it.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Hold on, I need some drugs. I pop some Advil.
Right now in this
and-
moment,
oh.
right now in this moment, dead guy is not in that bar. Kid from the drawing is no longer.
Oh,
That
interesting.
person looks like they're in there. Describe
Inside-
yourself. Well, two things. One, you're wearing your ridiculous goggles, Macintosh.
No, but he's got him like. They look like welding goggles. Like he's got that.
Yeah, yeah, that's about it.
So he would wear them like on his forehead, maybe, or just around his neck.
Okay.
So he'd keep them close.
So in that case, describe yourself, Reese, physically what you look like having a good time in the bar. Human you.
So, human Reese is kind of average looking as far as a guy goes. About 6 foot, 160 pounds. Blue eyes, very light blonde hair, and in some instances it looks almost like it's white, but that's probably just a trick of the lighting. Very, very pale, like not like super pasty white person, like almost like a tinge of blue, where they look like they've might be running out of oxygen.
And what does you having a good time on a typical weekend evening look like in your favorite bar? Which is a home to many supernaturals.
I'm getting fussed at for my character's physique. Thanks. No.
6 foot tall is average.
I'm basing it off of Devin. The height wise, okay. Leave me alone. Hey, if you cook me the Cajun boil, I will eat the Cajun boil, okay? Anyway, so that was to Othello's, who's torturing me with talk of crawfish. Anyway, so
Yes, I do need food.
you always need food. Reese is probably hanging out with people of any gender whatsoever. Just drinking probably a beer, having a good time, maybe having a couple shots of something else. But you notice at the end of hanging out with someone, if it's not someone he seems all that familiar with, if it's a stranger, they kind of leave looking a little sad. Maybe shedding a tear or two. It's kind of weird.
Also, the three of you have heard rumors that this place is a safe place for not human to hang out. They all look human to you. Nobody in here looks like a monster. Nobody in here is drinking wine glass of blood or anything movie level dramatic. It looks like people at a dive bar. Listening to alternative and industrial rock, playing pool, and drinking alcohol.
Shooting darts and whatnot.
Yeah, the clothing isn't all that fancy either. Reese is just wearing a regular, just like band t-shirt with jeans and tennis shoes.
The three hunters awkwardly look at each other.
I'm going in for a drink, guys, because I need something for this headache. Advil doesn't cut it much anymore.
That the first thing you don't say that make me happy. Let's go.
Yeah, I could use a drink.
I think I need to use my telepathy to just understand you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I speak
Because-
plain, boy.
I'm not sure which is worse. Trying to hear you and understand you, or the headache from listening to in your head.
Again, we need to talk about consent.
I go into the bar to get a drink.
I can start singing Cajun and you won't even know what's happening then.
You wander into the dive bar. Nobody looks at any of you twice. No one seems to care that you're here. The place is pretty crowded. It's Saturday night.
They serve food here?
Just appetizers and snacks. No full course meals.
Damn.
But you can get
Look,
like...
that there's loaded fries.
Yeah, you could form a meal. You could get loaded fries and some fried mushrooms or something and make a meal out of it.
Yeah, I order all of that because... Yes.
This is gloriously greasy as you're assuming.
And in honor of Steve, fried pickles with mayo dipping sauce, a spicy mayo dipping
Nope,
sauce.
you're out. Get out the Zoom. Leave. You're done. Nope, out.
Do they have like fried crawfish as an appetizer?
No, this is Chicago.
Okay.
Even they had crawfish, you don't want no eat it. It ain't good.
Yeah. Just
We out here in the middle
Right.
of nowhere, boy.
fried snot.
No, I was going to get it and give it to you. Like here.
Do we
Well,
see
it
the
ain't-
kid?
Yeah, he's off in the corner at a pool table with a bunch of guys.
I put
Some
on my
hot- and some
goggles.
hot
Do I
chicks.
see anything weird?
So, you put on your goggles in the supernatural bar. Here we go. Okay.
What you doing? Why are you putting on them Willen goggles?
It's bright in here.
Now that you
Yes,
mention
I need
it,
you to
Get
say-
my brain
get
is
some sunglasses.
I need you to say it's bright in here, and then say
Prescription.
"Sweet Jesus" and gag a little.
Sweet. Oh. Jesus. Wow. Sweet Satan's balls.
Okay. So, please roll resolve plus composure.
Already. Okay.
First roll of the game. Woo!
Oh, shoot. Did it roll?
Yes. It says. Where's my roller?
I see
one success from Macintosh McGuire.
Yeah.
Come through for me.
I see Sean 10 again. 8.
Yeah.
1 successes.
One success out of 6 dice.
Yikes.
There you go. You're back now.
Yep, there you are. One success. That is enough to hold your mud. You don't panic and run screaming out of the bar. However, you don't feel so great now, and you're pretty worried. That tingle that goes down your back when you see a monster is raging claws. Almost everything in here is not normal under the skin. But specifically pointing out the one you're looking at, describe to him what he sees.
So, human face Reese is unusually pale with a tinge of blue. actual Reese, skin is paper white, but if you look underneath, it's like there's blue shadows dancing underneath the surface of skin, kind of like if you see winter ice and then things moving beneath it. Frostbite, very obvious on the lips, end of the nose, ear tips. The hair is definitely white, but not like white colored. It's as if snow has settled on the hair and then stayed there permanently.
Permafrosted.
Permafrost. Damn it. Get out.
I outpunned the pun master general just now.
Sean, do what you will with him.
He's dead to me.
Okay. So that's what you see of that one. The rest is a kaleidoscope of horror. Like, we could point them all out to you. But, you know, they don't matter because you only care about the one.
So doesn't this mean he gets like 57 beats?
No, he doesn't have any conditions yet.
No, the encountering a new thing.
He didn't encounter a power. He just saw true faces.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Reese's eyes are silver.
He'll take the goggles down and just be like, so our dude.
You don't know what that is. You could describe it to them, but none of you have ever encountered it, or you don't even know the word.
Yeah, he's just like, our dude is not a dude.
He's a lady?
I'm gonna need you to be more specific.
Just not a dude.
So, monster or...
Nah, just different.
Yeah, we got that part.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not really good on the explaining things. This is why I read minds. It makes it easier.
You read my mind, I'll shove this Red's apple ale down your throat.
Bartender, who is 6'3", built like a biker, with the facial hair and features of a biker, leans over the bar and says, "We don't use the M word here."
So, man?
He glares at you. His thoughts scream into your brain. I'm going to pound this little puny thing into mush if it keeps racial slurs like monster.
Wait, did I use that word out loud? Not in my head? Sorry, man. Headaches. You got anything for headaches? Migraines? Never mind.
Yeah.
I got my apothecary with me. No worries.
The bartender's with us. I'm gonna ask him to send a cider down to the kid.
Reese?
Yeah.
Alright, but be careful. That kid'll ruin your night, man.
What do you mean? Wait. Come back. What?
He comes back. What?
What do you mean ruin your night?
Fucking saddest stories you've ever heard, man. Like fucking lost puppy dog ramped up to 50. I'll get that
Right.
cider going if you want to say.
Hey, why don't you read her, Ryan? You can stop reading ours for a little bit.
All right, yeah, let me just get that going. Specifically them. Come on, don't fuck this up. I try to establish a connection between all four of us.
Oh, good.
Gonna need you to roll stamina plus composure.
Alrighty. One success, because
it exploded and didn't get an 8.
Yeah.
One success is not enough to beat Reese's resolve plus composure. You're unable to penetrate the mental wards that it has in place. They're impressive. And these mental wards, they weren't there to prevent telepaths. They're there to prevent... They're like the kind of mental blocks one puts up when one refuses to be hurt. They're like emotional wards, but they're amazing. Also, these kind of emotional wards, you've never seen them in a 20-year-old before, only in 50 and 60-year-olds.
Oh god, that
The
hurt.
mind feels much older than the shell.
Oh, that hurt. Oh, you guys were easy to penetrate, but that one was not. Ow.
Reese,
Phrasing.
Definite phrasing.
What? I'm sorry. I
wow.
I'm not good with words. It hurt. My head hurts. Sorry.
Reese, roll composure plus wits.
Ooh. Click, dang it. Oh. Where's the roll dice button?
You can hit the number on your keyboard. It doesn't click. It'll still click. If you're clicked into that window, it'll work.
What number?
2.
Oh, okay.
1 success. You
That's-
feel like someone was poking at your mind, but you don't know who or where from. About a minute later, bartender walks up with a hard cider. Hands it to you. From that table, the dude in purple robes, an old guy with goggles on, hit a rub in his head.
Hey, now. I feel generalized.
Reese is in fact generalizing you until Reese decides to take a deeper look. The bartender's already like, nope, don't ask me, nope, don't want to know, nope. Goes back to the bar.
Probably someone else who wants to do something with changelings. They're not vampires, are they?
They're not real pale, except the kid holding his head.
That one looks like he needs some sun.
Hard to tell what a vampire is after. Sometimes they can even fake skin tone.
Well, I'm not leaving an opened drink around them, that's for sure.
You do know with your limited contact with vampires, because, backstory, in Chicago there is a truce between the changeling community and the vampire prince. That typically when they do want your attention, they wander up and flirt with you. Very social. Try to use their weird powers on you. They don't send you beers from across the bar.
Okay, so I'm assuming they want to force him, and I guess maybe I don't know.
The old guy's pretty handsome. He's got some muscles. But he's probably old enough to be your dad.
I'm gonna go find out what they want. Cautiously.
Kid walks over.
Have a seat. Want a chicken wing?
I'm gonna stand, actually, if you don't mind.
It's fair.
So thanks for the drink. So let's get down to business. What do you want?
What's your name, kid?
Where you been for 20 years?
Not that question.
Oh. Sorry.
Are you, in specific, Reese is pointing to the one with the headaches. Are you a stalker?
No. You family missing Wendigo.
I'm pretty sure I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, it just...
Hey, you guys were talking about it outside, and my head hurts.
Right.
You
Anyway.
should probably get this guy to the hospital. Just saying. Like, I don't know what you three have going on here. No judging. No
Right.
judging. But, your
Right.
youngest one... Your son?
I'm not related to that old bastard. I mean,
Really? You're
Your
already the old bastard?
stepson
You just met me.
needs to go to
Anyway,
the hospital,
I'm
probably.
blunt.
what's your name, kid?
Why do you want to know?
Just want to know.
What's your name?
Macintosh.
Apples. Got it.
Right.
I'm Reese.
All right, Reese. Cool. Why don't you have a seat?
I think I will stick with standing.
All right, fair enough. Gumbo, what you got?
His name is Gumbo.
No. That not my name. My name is Baptiste. And oh. What? I got nothing.
Cat got your tongue?
I just pull out the police report from way back, and I'm like, yeah, you are him. See? We're here because of... Not because of the... Well, I'm here because of you, but they're here because of the guy who... He didn't get killed, but I mean, he did die.
I'm going to promise you right now, he's not a stalker, but really just leaning hard into that element.
I'm going to take that paper and read it.
Yes, and before I start reading, I'm going to say, it's going to take a lot to convince me that this guy is not a stalker.
I mean, in this instance, I'm going to say no.
I haven't ruled it out personally.
It's a police report. Your parents' house. And your dad murdering someone who was trying to kidnap you, and that you were kidnapped 6 years after you were actually kidnapped.
Yeah, something like this.
Oh, is this their replacement?
You don't even know what that is.
Out of character, is this that replacement?
That would be the thing made of leaves, twine, and resin, yes.
Okay.
This report's wrong. It's definitely wrong. This kid went missing at 5.
Okay,
Right.
so I don't know. I'm only here because it. Yeah, cold
The
case.
report says the kid went missing at 10.
Yeah, it's. I only know what it tells me. I wasn't alive then. Well, yeah, I was, but I was little.
Who are you, kid?
Let's just say.
It's also your parents' house in your name.
Yes, Reese is not yet giving that up. Super paranoid. Let's just say, if I was around, this kid and I, we'd be the same age. 27 now, and 5 went missing. This report's wrong.
Okay, well, cops get it wrong all the time. I mean,
Tell me about it.
they're dumb sometimes. Sometimes they're really, really cool, but sometimes they're really stupid. Especially if you listen to the back of their minds.
What?
Anyway,
So, what?
I don't.
Here's the thing, Reese. We're investigators. We're investigating a missing persons
How'd
case.
you know I'm an investigator?
I need you to shut up for 2 seconds.
This boy a cool young.
Baptiste just over there eating fries.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I still don't. If I can't read your mind, I can't understand you.
Anyway, we're investigators, and somebody who looks like you was supposedly killed, and then you show up. So we came looking and asking questions, and we're let's just say we're looking into the murder of this person. You being not dead makes it a little peculiar.
No. Sorry. You're not here for Reese. Only Kyle's here for Reese. You're here
Oh,
because the
Wendigo.
person who's Reese's dad killed apparently also comes to the park. For Baptiste, the person that died in a cult 50,000 years ago. No, I have this backwards. You're the one investigating the cult, Macintosh. I'm sorry.
oh, okay.
Your
But he's
predecessor,
still-
who used to be the best hunter in your union, killed a Wendigo in Reese's parents' hometown years and years and years before Reese was even an idea in Mom and Dad's head. However, when you compared notes outside a minute ago, you realized that same creature, 20 years later, was shot dead by Reese's dad.
Yeah, he's kind of making connections with all the stories. So, anyway, I'm looking into the killer, and you seem to have some connection to it. So, just want to ask you some questions. Share some
Look,
chicken wings. The loaded fries are apparently Baptiste, so I wouldn't touch those.
I'm not
They're
sure
not,
that
they're not bad.
I'm not sure that I have anything to offer you guys in the way of help, but what I can tell you is that Wendigo is something I'm after too.
Oh. And Tyler, you said the Wendigo is supposed to show up at this bar?
The Wendigo has been known to frequent this bar.
Frequent the bar.
And also, Reese, until this moment, you knew nothing about any Wendigos. But you can tell them that if you want.
If you haven't noticed, Reese is not a very honest character.
Mhm.
Self-preservation, I promise. But it wasn't exactly a lie.
It's now true in the last 30 seconds.
I don't know any different because I can't see inside your head.
And you're not going to.
Again, we really need to talk about consent.
I'd have to agree with your stepdad and your dad.
Not a stepdad. Anyway,
But Purple Man's like my age.
I just gotta ask one important question. Have you now or ever been dead?
No.
Okay, then our goals are aligned and we can wait for our friend to show up.
Do you
You wanna-
gentlemen have any other questions for me, or
no, just the same one as before. You want to have a seat, eat some chicken wings, hang out, see what happens?
I think I'll stick with standing. Also, I don't.
I'm
take
not
food
into
from-
the see what happens with dudes. Sorry.
Not where I was going with that. What is wrong with you? Jesus.
Well, you tell me not to read your mind, so I'm not sure.
I don't know.
People don't say what they mean all the time.
I do. Anyway,
I always say what I mean.
That I can tell you is a lie because that people lie. That's part of what gives me a headache. Other part's just the fact that it gives me a headache.
I'm not like most people.
The evening passes. The conversation gets slightly less awkward. Not much. Baptiste disappears to the bathroom for 20 minutes. 3 hours of time pass. Guy never shows up. It's like 1 in the morning now.
They're doing last call kind of thing.
No, it'll be another hour before they do. You don't think the guy's coming.
put on the goggles one more time. Like, is he invisible? Is he looking like somebody else?
You wouldn't know that because you only know what his physical shell looks like. You have descriptions of antlers. There's actually a surprising amount of head horns in the bar right now with the goggles on.
Any distinctive pair of antlers?
Not really.
Okay.
Nothing dramatic.
Are you guys up for asking the bartender?
Yeah, I was just about to say I'll take the picture up to the bartender and ask him if he knows who this guy is.
That would be a social maneuver contest.
Oh.
Bartender going to start with 4 doors for his resolve and composure because he has a neutral attitude of you, no bonus, no penalty. So you walk up to the bar, he looks at you warily. Because you're hanging out with that kid who makes everyone sad.
Yay, you're not talking about me this time.
you sure?
I don't know. I can't read your mind. You're too far away.
Oh, did I not take the thing that makes me personable or whatever it was? What was that?
What?
Remember we were talking about there was a trait
Alright.
or whatever. I don't remember now.
You
Beloved
have,
stranger, I think. No, that's not the right one.
You have danger sense, direction sense, indomitable professional training, hardy, lucky charm, relentless marksmanship, cheap shot, improvised weaponry. No.
No. Okay. I thought I took that one. Anyway, so I just want to kind of like put the picture up in front of him or on the table with like $20. Be like, do you know who you seen this guy before?
Persuasion plus presence.
Ooh.
One success. He's like, maybe. Why?
Just old friends looking for him.
Old friends, huh?
Friend of a friend.
He looks at the 20. How good of a friend.
Puts another 20 on the table.
Manipulation plus persuasion. Same dice for you, I know.
I think I rolled it. Nope, guess not.
It hasn't popped up yet. There we go. Hey, oh.
Boo.
He looks at the money and he's like, old friend, huh? Sure about that? Never seen you in here before.
What does my lucky charm do again? Can't remember.
Lucky charm. When the chips are down and all seems lost, you can play with it, and when you play with it, you can roll Resolve plus Composure. Do that first.
Okay. Sort of reaches into his pocket and fingers it.
What is it?
Phrasing.
It's just an old coin he happened to find somewhere on some mission. It's like an old
Okay.
Spanish doubloon or something like that.
Okay. No positive or negative effect, no lost use.
Okay.
You're like, huh, not having any luck with this. Can't hurt to try one more time. Persuasion plus.
So he's gonna lay 100 on the table and see what he
100,
can
you
get.
say. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Roll persuasion plus manipulate, or I'm sorry, presence plus manipulation. No skill this time. Make sure you uncheck persuasion though. And then add 2 bonus dice.
No, not there. Two successes. Can't hear you.
He takes the money and it disappears, and he leans across the bar and looks around and says, "Yeah, he comes in here, but that guy's a little weird. I don't want him in trouble. What guarantee do I have that you're not going to tell him I'm the one who gave you any information?"
Nope. Just heard it from a little bird.
One more roll. Presence plus manipulation again.
No. You are doing damn fine
Would
on
you
these
like
dice.
to spend a point of willpower to get 3 more dice?
Sure.
Check that off for the box, not the circle.
I just check a willpower box.
Yep, like that, exactly.
Okay. And then roll again.
Yep. With the 3 bonus dice. There we go. Like, yeah, so he was in here a few days back. Got into some kind of argument with one of the patrons that we don't talk about. He then skedaddled out of here quick. Dropped his wallet on the way out.
Oh.
The wallet. He didn't get this from me. Then he goes away.
Just a little bird drops it on the sidewalk. Thanks, friend.
Reese. What sad thing are you telling Patty again?
Those fries, like, I've heard that, you know, they have really horrible working conditions for the people who harvest the potatoes. They underpay them, and they get really sick and they die all the time. They leave these kids completely parentless. It's horrendous.
Reese, roll. Presence plus manipulation. Sinclair. I'm sorry, Fontaine, not Sinclair. Roll wits plus composure.
Got 0, dang it.
So this is my first roll. So I add the pips I have in all those, and that's the number of dice I roll.
No.
You just check wits, the box, and check composure, the box, and then hit the number 2 on your quick bar where it says 1.
Huh.
It's got
That's
R198,
so useful.
you want 1.
That's useful.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice.
3 successes. Okay, where is Reese?
Mine's up there, and I made 0 successes.
You believe him, you just don't care, Fontaine. Or you don't believe him, your call.
I'm gonna go with believe, but that's a damn shame. But they happened to find some Creole sauce in the back, and it make them chase. Mwah!
Kyle, same roll. Wits plus composure.
Guy's a brick freaking house.
Hunters have a lot of resolving composure, yes.
No, don't tell me you're not going to give it to me because I haven't done anything in a minute and I have to reload. Oh, there we go. Now it rolls all at once. 1 success.
1 success. Okay, and the same thing again for you. Your roll, not their roll.
No, I'll take the 0 from Reese.
So presence plus manipulation. 1 success. Hi. Roll again, both of you.
It's a roll off.
Yep.
1 again. To 0.
Oh no. You also don't care?
I'm just like,
Damn.
what? Wait, what? I
Damn.
wasn't paying attention. My head hurts.
You should
What?
get a disadvantage because his head hurts. That's every
That's-
time he pretends his head hurts, he gets a -1.
That's the advantage to not paying attention to you. What? Headache? Did you say something about a headache? Because yes, I do.
And then Macintosh walks back with a fresh plate of fries for Sinclair. I'm sorry, for Baptiste.
All those French names, man, they sound the same.
Apparently.
French names, French fries.
You're
Well,
back
thank
at
you,
the
Mark.
table, Macintosh, with a wallet.
So Macintosh would come back to the table, and he would play it straight with them, be like, "All right, here's how it's gonna be. We're tracking this guy. We're all working together, trying to find things out. I expect total honesty from all of you. No garbage, no bullshit. We got a job to do."
I have not yet lied to you.
D'accord.
I don't believe you, but that's fine. Anyway, moving forward.
No, I really haven't lied to you yet.
Right now, I believe you. So, yeah, that's the rules. If you're not cool with that, you can walk out this door. No hardships. No bad feelings.
Well, I think we should just all tell each other what we got to bring to this then, since, I mean, you guys kind of got a little bit of knowing what I do, but, I mean, aside from you being old man and you being purple and you being the person I was looking for, at least. Yeah.
I'm just
But
gonna
you're
get disrespected like that.
Who's purple?
Lafontaine.
Baptiste here.
Or Baptiste.
You wear one article
Fontaine.
of purple clothing, and suddenly you're purple.
You know what, Baptiste? Well, why don't you tell Junior here exactly what you bring to the table?
Well, if this poor couillon ever get his act together, perhaps I could help him. I make the boo-boos go away.
All right.
Life is
So
my
does
boo-boo.
my mom with the band-aid. I mean,
I make the really bad boo-boos go away.
I feel like Baptiste here spent a couple of years at a school, got a piece of paper that says he's pretty good at what he does.
Yes, totally. I am 100% legitimate.
Got
You know
my
what,
medical
Baptiste?
license right here.
It's printed off of a regular sheet of paper.
Yeah.
It's called the School of Hard Knocks.
That's probably the best school ever. Junior,
look, if anyone's lied to you, I think it's probably that guy.
I think he just doesn't know if he's lying or telling the truth. Reese, what do you do?
So that's
The synopsis.
Stuff and things.
I make my living off of other people.
I can respect that.
I feel like this.
So you're a grifter?
Technically, I guess.
Don't be saying that word like it's a bad thing now.
No, no. I mean, that's just what it is. Make money off of people. You're a grifter.
Sure. People around me seem to get sad and they give me things.
Huh.
Okay.
So, like, you're a beggar.
No, definitely not.
So you're
But I
just
do pick up odd jobs.
sad and people are, like, pity you?
Actually, I'm a pretty jovial person. They just seem to get real sad.
Okay.
So, Majestic 12, besides the obvious of the guy's driver's license, can you read anything off this wallet?
I might be able
It's
to.
you, Kyle. You're Majestic 12.
So to say, he talking to you, right, man?
Oh, I think I could learn later on, but I don't really have the power to just touch
Give it to me.
something.
Slides it over to Reese.
Okay, so Reese is going to use Walls Have Ears. Costs about 1 to 3 glamour. It's instant. The changeling holds an item up to their mouth, tells it a secret from their time in Arcadia, and the object tells a secret in return. I can either know how an object is made and all the weak points, or know how to use the object to best effect, or see a vision of the person who last handled or touched the object as well as circumstances of the scene. Vision will also show anyone within 3 meters of the object at the time. The loophole, which will prevent me from having to spend glamour, is the changeling's in a public place among mortals who can hear him speak his secret out loud.
Huh. You're in a bar.
Give us your bunk, the secret. Actually, no.
God.
First, see if they notice. See how good whisper senses are.
Whisper senses. Where?
Not you, them.
Oh,
Yes. Wits
Whisper.
plus
Wits.
composure from all 3 hunters, starting with Fontaine.
I could have sworn I pressed the button. What's composure? Did it show up?
Not yet.
I'm gonna press it. I'm gonna press it one more time. So yeah,
Check goes. No, good for you. Kyle, go.
One success.
One success for Kyle. Macintosh, go. Two successes
Two
for
successes.
Macintosh. And then from Reese, we need subterfuge and manipulation. Tell it to stop rolling and like that.
Oh,
Yep. Kyle and Macintosh, you heard what Reese says, so Reese, say it out loud. Whatever that secret is.
My mind went blank.
It doesn't have to be a bad one. It has to be a...
I stole my keeper's power.
Keeper.
It wasn't for you.
okay, cool. That's neat. You have your keeper? Like, I am my brother's keeper kind of keeper, or like...
I'm also going to need Macintosh and Kyle to roll Resolve plus Composure -3. So in the bonus
Okay.
dice box, put -3 instead of just a number, but negative. Starting with
Okay.
Kyle. Okay.
2 success. What?
I don't think it subtracted
Damn.
anything from you guys. It didn't work.
No. Oh,
They
No,
rolled
it's
6
subtract-
dice from
it's
Macintosh.
subtracted from me. He got 2 10s. That's why he got...
Oh, it's 10 to getting. Right. Yes.
Yeah. And I had 8 dice to begin with.
Neither
so
of you have any idea what that means, but it makes you unbearably sad. But not sad enough to feed Reese.
Damn it.
Yeah, that,
Wallet
that's
is
really
also,
depressing, man.
the wallet is also unbearably sad.
Well, it is
And it
sad.
shows you a
Poor Wallet.
picture. It shows you a picture of it actually shows you a picture of what it thinks you want to see, which is the Wendigo, which to you is clearly a changeling, or probably a troll. Locked in Mortal Kombat with replacement, your replacement. The puppet put in place to act and look like you. You managed to destroy the puppet, but not before it was murdered by your father. See the whole thing play out.
So wait, it was trying to destroy the puppet that was the stolen form of Reese.
That's what Reese sees. You none of you see.
Okay.
This is me, only me. Cannot share. Do not want to share. Anyway, so this wallet did in fact belong to the guy that you're hunting, and as a matter of fact, the one that I'd really like to get my hands on.
That's
and it
great.
is connected to your cold case. Headache, man.
You definitely have a reason to stay with them now, Reese. Whether or not they have a reason to stay with each other remains to be seen. These are the 3 most trusting hunters ever. I'm okay with that. I can use that. I can use that.
I'm not trusting. I just don't know what's. Wait, am I?
Hi, other
trusting?
random people that might be monsters. Are you half the same person I am?
I'm too. It hurts too much to know if I'm trusting or not.
The driver's license, and I imagine there's a driver's license in it.
There is.
It looks like
Is
the
that-
dude.
It says this dude turned 16, 1963.
But it looks like
The picture
dude?
looks like the dude in 60s clothes, yeah.
okay. The address, I show it to Reese. Does that mean anything to you?
Same town your parents live in. Different part of the town.
Yeah, I've got family there. And also, you have no idea what you're up against.
Also, the wallet's full of modern cash. This guy apparently has never updated his driver's license. Ever.
Are you gonna...
Wait, there's modern cash, but he paid $100 for that wallet?
Yeah, there's like some ones and a 5.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say bad bartender.
Can I have that for helping you out?
No, that's the tip.
Just the tip.
All right, so we got an address. We should probably go check this place out.
I Google map it.
This Manastique place is on the other side of Lake Michigan. If you drove there, it would probably take 6.5, 7 hours.
Oh yeah, he's from there. That's right.
Not a trip for tonight, then.
Or
Let's
you
all
could-
get cast.
Or you could take a ferry, which doesn't run at night. It's a 3 or 4 hour trip.
Let's all get casted and start up tomorrow.
I may know of another way.
Hmm.
Wait, how can we travel faster than, or get there faster than we already are?
There's regular shipments from here to a bay near there. In freighter boats.
Google that too, Kyle.
Yeah, I do.
Reese
That
is
sounds
correct.
weird.
That place has a factory that apparently makes the bulk of bags for McDonald's? Okay. And they deliver them to Chicago where they get spread out across the country.
That's really neat and odd information for you to know, but I mean, okay.
However, it doesn't necessarily mean it's any faster to get to the dock, hope there's a cargo ship leaving, and then smuggle yourselves on board. But you could!
Sounds like a lot of work if we could just take the ferry in the morning.
Yeah.
As far as we know, there's no other lead to follow other than this dude's wallet.
Either that or continue haunting this place until he shows up again. But
But it
you
seems
did
like
get
he was
that little.
kicked out.
You did get that clue that he had trouble. He didn't get kicked out. He got in confrontation with somebody with power that also hangs out, who the bartender
Yeah,
would
that's-
not identify.
Good enough to basically say, you got kicked out of the bar. The regular here says,
A scary ass motherfucker. Yeah. By the way, do you tell anyone the true form of Reese with your goggles on?
No.
Or that you saw it to Reese?
No.
It also means you're the only hunter in the group that isn't just being ridiculously trusting, by the way, because you were able to see that Kyle and Baptiste argued.
Right. I do relay that he did get in an argument with another dude in here, but we don't know who that dude is.
So, your plan is to hop the ferry and or drive first thing in the morning, correct?
Yeah, I mean,
mhm.
I don't know
Right.
if I want to sit in a car ride with these guys for 6 hours. So maybe
The ferry you could
instead.
wander to a different part of the ship, yes. Plus, no one has to
complaining the whole time about how it hurts my head and how I'm seasick and this is double the pain entire time.
Okay. Next session, you will take the ferry, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, into the middle of nowhere into the wilderness. I'm sure everything will go well. It does every time you go into the wilderness of Upper Michigan, right?
It does.
Right. So, 1 beat for completing the session. 1 free beat each, because we didn't set up aspirations yet, which we're about to do. And yeah, that's it. 2 beats.
2 beats.
Also, starting with Kyle. 2 short-term, 1 long-term aspiration. Now that you understand the layout of the party and the mystery involved. Add them to your sheet and tell us what they are.
I already created my long term,
Okay.
which is hurt the creature that killed my dad.
I can make that happen. Okay.
That's
Short
I
term.
figured you could. Find the Wendigo.
Okay.
Um,
That is shorter term than end of the game, but might not happen.
okay.
Next one.
Learn something else about Reese.
Okay. Yeah, you can put that in a second. Fontaine. One long, two short. What you got?
Long term. I'm gonna do that one last. Short term, Wendigo, obviously, and find the time to do a try to convince the group to do a seance with me to contact Loa.
Okay.
Fuck that.
This is not they came from beyond the grave. Fine.
No. This is trust me. This is what I practice. I got this. I just need some help sometimes.
I thought you were a doctor.
Yeah.
Do you need girthy candles?
Doctor.
Not need girthy candles.
Oh, okay.
Long term, we'll say for now. I might change it, but just off the top of my head, establish a legitimate practice.
Othello's votes
Okay.
that one of your aspirations is do a crawfish boil.
Okay.
You can add that as a bonus long-term aspiration.
Boom.
Macintosh. Too short,
Yeah, we'll
one
have
long.
to get back home before I do a crawfish boil.
Hold on. So, two shorts are get in a fight and use a different improvised weapon every round.
Okay.
Trust my gut instinct.
Okay.
And then my long term is figure out why this Wendigo is still alive.
Those are all very good. Reese.
So, first one, I'm gonna kind of jump on the bandwagon and say, deal with the Wendigo.
Okay.
Second short term,
If you're making deal with the
I'm
Wendigo
going.
short term, define deal.
oh no, deal as in like, figure out what's going on with it, like how is it still alive and
Change
why
that to
my...
get another clue.
Okay.
Next.
Actually, ideally, I would like to figure out why it targeted my fetch.
Okay. Make that the second one because those are not necessarily the same thing. And what's your long term?
I'm typing. Oh boy.
That poor
Wendigo
fetch got wrecked.
after my fetch.
Yep.
It's because the
So
Wendigo
gain a new
decided to
clue
play
and
fetch.
then learn why it killed your fetch. Two different things. Yeah.
Yes, and so long term. Long term. Figure out a reason to trust these hunters.
Okay.
I have
You,
a
that's
feeling
definitely
that'll-
long term. Yes. For you specifically. I think you really trust them. Okay. Next thing we must do is vote on favorites. For those who don't know, at the end of every session, any player can vote for any other player for any reason or anything that happened during the session. Those receiving votes can either get one experience. I'm sorry. can get 3 beats, which is basically half an experience roundup, or 1 free willpower use without having to actually spend the willpower in any future session. So, starting with Macintosh.
I feel like this is going to be the cliche for the evening, but I've got to give mine to Patty for his accent.
All right. Patty, 3 beats gives you a total of 5. You have 1 experience at your beats.
Woohoo!
Reese.
I'm actually gonna go with Sean.
Okay.
He appealed to and Patty, you were very, very close with the perfect accent. But I like how Sean's character is almost as paranoid as mine.
All right. That brings you to 1 experience, Sean. Also, Patty, having lived there for a while, the accent's pretty good.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
Kyle, who and why?
I will give it to the only person who dressed up for game 1.
Yep. My cosplay failed hard. Steve isn't here. Devin doesn't have his gear yet. That takes you to 1 experience, Reese, and last but not least, Baptiste. Why?
Not just to round it out so everyone gets 1 experience, but also because, we're gonna see if we can't cure Headache Boy permanently with our voodoo Dr. Powers. Headache Boy would be his superhero name.
Headache Boy, I like it.
1
I did.
experience each. Yep. Nice.
I purposely did not vote for you because that just irritated the crap out of me.
Which
I do
means,
want to punch his character.
I know.
Which means his role playing is on par because that was the
Yes.
point.
As
Yeah,
someone who experiences chronic pain, that just drove me up a flippin' wall.
And this is the best part. It's not just chronic pain. It's chronic pain I cause myself by using my powers.
Yeah, we'll see if there's nothing I can do about that.
You sleep on the couch tonight.
Well, civilians, you've reached the end of this session alive and safe thanks to the Vigil. Have no fear, we will be playing Hunter every Wednesday here at 5 Pacific, or 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern. Every Wednesday, till this story reaches its epic conclusion, week of Halloween. Appropriate for a monster hunting game. Hunter Cell, tell us what you're up to after this. Where can these fine people watch you next and lurk on you?
At Space Lord the PJs, we'll be running another game of Descent in Avernus tomorrow at 8 on our channel, Vorpal Tales. Yeah, I read the whole book. Should be fun.
From monsters to hell.
Right. I mean, seems apropos.
Yes. Reese.
So you can find me and haunt me on the interwebs at Changeling Ever, and I will be hanging out in the Avernus chat room because I like these peoples and I like these things that they do, and I like to bother them as much as I can. Sean's face is great. So, in between that, you'll find me playing Animal Crossing and hanging out with my awesome partner.
Kyle.
I also like to annoy people, which is why you see me playing this character. And I just annoyed Ever. I will be occasionally hanging out during this week in chat as well. Other than that, I will be playing surprise, surprise, Breath of the Wild. But
Master mode?
oh, Master Mode. Oh yeah, this is my 3rd time through. I still have to get all 120 shrines.
I'd also
Okay.
like to point out that your makeup, Reese, makes your annoyed glare amazing.
It really does.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I'd
All right.
also like to mention Conan Friday, Vorpal Tales.
Daddy, what you got?
I am Patty Shakes, everyone on the internet. I will be playing next in the Conan game that was just mentioned on Friday. Come see me be a pirate. On Thursday, I'll be in the chat room for Avernus because I love D&D and I must consume as much D&D as possible. Speaking of D&D, I will be DMing the Mad Mage Dungeon, which is the awesome level 5 through 20 dungeon, and starting in November.
And starting in October now.
Ooh, that's right. And in addition to that, to get everyone kind of hyped for that, people who are not playing in the campaign may join my stream soon. I'm going to either stream on I think I'm going to stream on my personal channel. I'm going to start doing DM sessions where I will be creating dungeon maps. I will be going over role-playing ideas, character ideas, NPC ideas, just general GMing. So if you are not a GM at all, would like to be one, if you are thinking about being one, if you just want to see some of the background of what's going to go into Mad Mage, feel free to join that. But yeah, that's me.
Awesome. I myself will be running session 1 of Conan Adventures in an Age Undreamed of Friday at 9 Central, 6 Pacific time. You can watch Vorpal Tales tread the jeweled thrones of the earth under their sandaled feet. It will be amazing. Everyone in this room except Devin will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'll be playing in Avernus tomorrow. And then Monday, Mage the Ascension will be running session 7, where they finally escape the Nightmare Realm, and the Technocrats and our wayward mage have to infiltrate a chemical corporation and not get caught. I'm sure it'll go perfectly well.
Yeah, that sounds pretty easy, actually.
Come check all those games out at twitch.tv/VorpalTales. Remember, follow Onyx Path here on Twitch. Head over to YouTube for the archive. Follow us on Twitch and check out our YouTube archive. Like and subscribe, leave comments. Go to our website, vorpaltales.com. Use the link to join our Discord to hang out, talk about terrifying tales and awesome adventures. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/VorpalTales. All your support in any form helps. Our hunters will return next week, outmatched, outgunned, but never giving up. We say to death, Sean?
Tomorrow?
Correct. You
Possibly
can rest easy
today.
knowing you are in safe hands. Until next week, at least. Good night.
Good night. So long.